I hosted a Furret Only Pokemon tournament, and I did not expect it to be as exciting and skillful as it ended up being. Furret is a Pokemon that pretty much never gets used in competitive, so I thought, why not give him a competitive format of his very own and see what happens. The rules were simple: 6v6 with Furret as the only legal Pokemon. It was best of 3 and single elimination. It's in Gen 9, so terastallizing is allowed. And I decided to allow baton pass strategies too to make things interesting. The result was a Furret frenzy that was full of surprises. The metagame really seemed to center around Coil and Tidy Up, Furret's best boosting moves, but intelligent players started to adapt to this. Red Card was used to punish Furrets that overcommitted to too many boosts. Terra Ghost was the most popular Terra type, and players started running Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball to play around that. Choice Specs Furret with Focus Blast was a great anti-meta pick, punishing Furrets for over-investing in defense boosts. Terra Electric plus Thunder Furret was another insane development. Electric typing makes you immune to body slam paralysis, which was a big thing, and Thunder is a really hard-hitting move that can benefit from Coil's accuracy boosts. These Furrets used just about every tool they had and were pushed to their limits during this tournament, and we saw some brilliant outplays, tragic chokes, and unbelievable comebacks during this exciting event. This was honestly a lot of fun, and I'd love to do something like this again. The winner of this tournament is allowed to request whatever Pokemon-related video they want that I have to make, no matter how ridiculous. Let's see who the best Furreter in the world is, and what silly video they force me to create as the champion. Thank you to the Showdown mods, Isaiah and Ozma, for helping me set up this event. Subscribe to the channel for your own self-interest. Thank you. First battle is here. Tomotako versus... Wait, Tomotako only has a single Furret. That's not good, Tomo. You could have more Furrets. You could have put more Furrets on the team, Tomotako. That's a disadvantage right off the bat, is that the one Furret against 6 is not a very good matchup. I don't think that this Furret is going to last very long here, unless it's the greatest Furret of all time. It's better be a good Furret. This Furret better be well trained. That's all I could say. Tomotako, you better... just like that, our first game has gone to Little Filou. Okay, in game 2, you can bring more Furrets. I would like you to understand. Add more Furrets to your team right now. Game 2 is big play. No, you stick it to your guns. It's a bold strategy, but it might just work. It might just be crazy enough to work. Defense curl. Will you live the brick break? You lived it. Tell me you got rest at least. Rest would come in handy here. No. Well, that was closer. That was a closer battle. Let's take a look at this one between Ozma and ST Best Inc. It's already begun. Well, let's look at the first turn. Sorry. We have to go back. We have to go back to the beginning. It started with a Furret switch out, which is interesting. A light ball fling Furret has paralyzed the enemy. That is incredible tech. Chilling water to lower attack. It's pathetic damage because it has no item. It impervious to knockoff damage. Chilling water again. And these Furrets they are ruined. Tidy Up on a protect turn. Again. Chilling water. You are back to neutral. Tidy Up again. You are losing 1v1 to the chilling water. You're gaining speed, but what for? Where are you going at such a pace? There's nowhere to go. You are slowly losing to chilling water. This is not going to work out. ST Best Inc. has come prepared for the Furret metagame, and you are not ready. You don't know what this... You don't understand this business. This isn't going to work out. Reverse... never mind. You had it planned from the beginning. You would lower your health for the reversal sweep. But a Terra Ghost... Terra Sucker Punch, but it's not enough after the chilling water chip damage. But now it might be. And it is. And the Furret has fallen. But you're -2 at quick attack. Never mind. It's a flame orb Furret. It's going to... But never mind. It's a Focus Blast enemy Furret. It's incredible. It's incredible. Play rough. What the hell is that for? Terra Dragon Furret. Who will never know. It gets Focus Blasted. I told you Choice Specs Furret was the way. I told you folks the Choice Specs Furret was the metagame right now. It is sweeping. It is a Furret sweep. It has never been... It was never a contention. Ozma looked horrendous at the beginning. But it was never... After spending your... That you never spend a Terra Ghost before seeing the Choice Specs Focus Blast Furret at the back. That is Furret theory. Okay? We are now in game 2. A convincing win from Ozma on turn 1 there. But now ST Best Inc. is going to be prepared for it. Impressive showing at the start of that game with the chilling water counterplay. By the way, incredible skill on that Furret to never miss a single Focus Blast. Incredible. I may not have seen so many Focus Blasts land in a row. That was unbelievable. I told you folks, choice specs. Everyone's focusing on coil. Thunderbolt Furret. On turn 1, it's a bold move. It is a bold strategy, and it is dealing significant damage. Agility. Baton pass out. To the choice specs Furret, it's a great strategy. It will force a Terra Ghost early. It will force an early Terra Ghost. Thunderbolt is significant damage. That is significant. Terra Electric. I was thinking of this. Not only are you neutral to the Focus Blast, you have boosted your Thunderbolt damage, and also you are immune to paralysis. So you can't be hit by the Fling Light Ball Furret. You are impervious to paralysis. It's brilliant. The Furret metagame is going it's evolving before our eyes, and I can scarcely believe it. It's choice specs Thunderbolt. Brick Break is going to KO there. That Terra Fighting is a good move. Post Terra Commitment, choice Scarf Terra Fighting might just sweep here. No. Charm. It appears to be another Fling Flame Orb Furret, but not today. I think Fling was a better move than Charm there. The Fling is a permanent debuff to Ozma's most valuable Furret. Now they exit, it can come in later. It is revealed to be a Rocky Helmet Furret on our side here, from ST Best. This is why you need Play Rough, exactly, for the Terra Fighting. Substitute. It lives the knockoff. Focus Punch Furret! It only does 55, that is an incredibly bulky Furret. It came prepared for this very matchup. And maybe falling to that damage is advantageous, actually, for ST Best, because we know that the knockoff would not have broken it. We know the knockoff would not have broken Sub, and would have allowed a subsequent Focus Punch. Tidy Up in the face of a Choice Band Furret is a risky move. What if Brick Break came down? Ozma knew it was Body Slam. Endure. A paralysis could happen. Lychee Berry. Reversal. Is this it? I don't think that the Quick Attack could end this. Quick Attack could finish off the enemy Furret. Sucker Punch to play around Quick Attack, but it was not even a Quick Attack. You could have reversaled Ozma. You didn't know. How could you have known? It's an intelligent move, but the Choice Scarf Brick Break Furret is poised for a switch. And imagine if this got flung early. You just fling a Flame Orb on this? Your Rocky Helmet Furret could have walled it. You see, you live this. Fling, it's a paralysis. So you're saying there's a chance. A Play Rough? Chilling Water? It's not going to be enough, I don't think. No. No, it's not. It was a valiant effort. But folks, it's just a Furret sweep. It's a 2-0 from Ozma, and a convincing. Ozma, one of the favorites to win this event, many have said. Mint Yerb versus Portobello Mushroom. And let's take a look at this. Game 1. Both of these Furrets are agilitying against one another. The Furret named E has higher speed at the moment, but Cold Visions has a higher defense and accuracy, which could come into play. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. That was Mirror Herb Furret, I just realized. I didn't even process that. That's unbelievable technology. We were theory crafting that earlier. Mirror Herb is fantastic against all these boosting Furrets. Charm. Charm versus Chilling Water. I gotta put my money on the Chilling Water Furret here. I think that this Chilling Water Furret 1v1s very well, because you're lowering their attack whilst also slowly damaging them, which is a surefire path to success, in my eyes. A coil there? I probably just would click another Chilling Water. Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Mint Yerb, you push the advantage. Although a Baton Pass out could really get you, but then with the Chilling Water strategy, you are maintaining a low attack stat for the enemy and reducing their Baton Pass value. You know what I mean? I think that charming the enemy Furret on Portobello Mushroom's side is a losing game. Diminishing returns at this point. The Furret is weak enough. The Furret is weak enough. I don't think the charm is going to really help you here. I would advise going on the offensive soon. I really think you should go on the offensive very soon. We have, by the way, 693 viewers here. Thank you to all the Furret viewers tuning in. It's an intense moment. Both of these players are really thinking about their position, because either Furret could pull out a trick. It's Baton Pass. We're going on the offensive, as I suggested, and I think that it's a great move. We're going to Furret, named F. You have also Baton Passed. Great minds think alike. We are exiting. You have minus attack, but you could go to a Focus Blast Furret, and you have accuracy boosts. And if you have a Focus Blast Furret right here, it might just be over. No, Amnesia. Okay, we're making the most powerful Furrets of all time. We are constructing the most powerful Furrets ever imagined. Amnesia is intelligent in the choice specs Furret metagame to play around Focus Blasts. They're both tidying up the place. I mean, I can scarcely believe who's going to win this 1v1. between these two particular Furrets, it's... I think that maybe Portobello Mushroom was thinking ahead earlier with all of those charms. Because Cold Visions is committed to baton passing out, but their attack is so low that it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it at this point. Baton pass out again. And both of these players are attempting to construct a Furret never before imagined. I cannot believe how powerful these are getting. Focus energy. Trick! Choice Scarf! You have locked that Furret into its own doom. He is locked into Brick Break. A Terror Ghost will end this guy's entire career. Locked into a move that... And you have established your Furret as the superior. Okay, that's a sacrifice, but if you just have a Terror Ghost Furret, you are able to very easily turn the tables on this enemy. Do you really not have Terror Ghost? It's a standard Terror Fairy. Well, it resists, but that's still... I don't think this is going to be enough. You've just spent your Terror. And you're still dying. Chilling Water. Mint Yerb, I don't think that you have thought this one through. You needed Terror Ghost on at least one of your Furrets. At least one of them needs to have it. It's standard Furret procedure. It's a common Furret tactic. You need Terror Ghost on at least one to punish these kinds of positions. The trick choice was a beautiful move. It ended his entire strategy, but you were locked in. You've locked yourself into your own fate. Ironically, you have given him the speed necessary to brick break until Kingdom Come, and I believe that this game 1 is going to go to Portobello Mushroom. I don't think any of these Furrets can survive this onslaught. Is this the first Furret 6-0 of the tournament? I think so, because I don't think that any of these last 3 Furrets have a chance at life. It's a forfeit. It's an honorable forfeit, and we're going to go to a game 2. Game 2 is now underway. Will Mint Yerb come back from this? A Lychee Berry Furret on Portobello Mushroom side and a Choice Scarf. So of course the Choice Scarf Furret has an early advantage. An aggressive opener in the Furret metagame is wow, a bold move on turn 1. Focus Punch with a Choice Scarf Furret. By the way, absolutely nuts moveset. You have you have Choice Scarf Focus Punch Furret. A simple BP out. A simple BP out will... The BP on a Choice Scarf Furret, that's actually brilliant. I support that. Because you can trick and then BP again. Cold Visions has been a successful Furret in many of these games, but... Mirror Herb, incredible. Mirror Herb plus Coil. Now these are the kinds of Minty Yerb out plays we want to see. That was an incredible call out. Chilling Water here is a fantastic choice. I agree wholeheartedly with the Chilling Water there. I think it's a great click. I just hope that you don't have Chilling Water on everything without any, like, good coverage options, because you're going to need Brick Break somewhere. Okay, we're just going to match boosts. There's definitely there's a tempo and a pace to Furret used, where they say whoever coils first recoils in horror. Is a common adage among the Furret community, because sometimes it's committing to coil puts you in a Chilling Water trap. It's like the poisoned pawn of Furret use, as they say. Because, you know, committing to it first, it reveals your hand, and then Chilling Water simply chips you down ever so slowly to the point of an unfavorable 1v1. Cold Vision's back on the field, one of the most famous Furrets, and we're hoping that, like, a baton pass into Cold Visions represents perhaps fighting coverage right here. Endure? Charm. Outplaying the Endure significantly there. Endure was expecting a fighting type attack coming down for a reversal counterplay, but Charm is brilliant. It's frankly, Stockfish could not have thought of that one. Stockfish would have done something else. This is the human element. This is the human error. And Charm again, I think that Minty Yerb is well ahead here. Focus Blast! But we live. Baton pass out. Focus Blast was a shake-up right there. Nobody expected that. You boost your attack and defense for hours. It's a common bluff. The coil into Focus Blast... They call it the Jerome Gambit. And a Terra Fighting Maranga Berry has raised special defense. I cannot believe it. Amnesia. This is how you play around. This is what Mint Yerb has always done. Is turn these situations on their head. But all it takes, I think one more Focus Blast will do it. You just really need Terra Ghost on one of your Terra Fairy. You have completely destroyed Portobello Mushroom with that Terra Fairy. Focus Blast only dealing 6%. Hyper Voice has done nothing. Just tell me you have all you need is an attack to secure this one. A simple attack and it's over. Pikmin in the chat is wondering why Focus Blast is not missing. It's because of the accuracy boosts from Coil. Focus Energy. This is a great adaptation because that'll bypass the defensive. Fury swipes. And there's the crit. Fury swipes maximizes the odds of a crit, but Focus Blast has gotten through. It's made its way through. All that work, all that amnesia boost Maranga Barrier, brilliant move. All for naught? The Furret named T has defied the odds with simple... They say slow and steady wins the race. These Fury swipes, only one of them crit. Post-focus energy, you were really hoping for more crits there, but sometimes it doesn't come. It doesn't happen like that. A scope lens could have been wise. Can Mint Yerb come back from this? I mean, that is a significant deficit. I think that was an impressive live right there. I think that Mint Yerb keeps doing these tidy ups that they don't accomplish much because what's the point of tidying up if you're slower post-tidy up against this Furret? Quick Claw would be a good move here. That Furret all along had a focus sash. It tells a story. I think the Portobello Mushroom is going to close this one out very quickly. We're going to need a miracle. Focus Blast can't even miss. There's accuracy through the roof. Hyper Voice is a smart move there to preserve Focus Blast PP in the event of PP stall. And going out with a Focus Punch, just putting it all on the table, only to be eliminated. A respectable attempt from Mint Yerb. There was some great technology in that one, but we now have a battle between Platypuses 1 and Wes Rui in the next stage of the tournament. Stewie is the enemy Furret, or perhaps a reference to the Family Guy cartoon. A Flame Orb Fling to kick things off is a bold opener. The Furret on the side of Platypuses 0 is now completely crippled for the remainder of the game. Although rest could come down and you would never know it. Tidy up. We're trying to baton pass out to a different Furret, I think. That seems to be the game plan. And it looks like a pretty defensively invested Furret taking minimal damage from this Brick Break, despite it being super effective. I think that you're right in that more people should be running Focus Sash Endeavor to play around all these boost spammers. You know, it may seem like boosting and baton passing could be the way to go, but it's so obvious that there's this clear counterplay in my eyes. So a baton pass out to a weaker Furret has taken 61, but it's a small price to pay for a subsequent KO and a well-positioned Furret on Platypus's side. Wes Rui is going to need something excellent to take out this. Perhaps a Sucker Punch Terra Dark could finish it off. We could see a Terra Ghost. Terra Ghost would be a great move. We'll see if that comes to pass. Okay. Peter is on the field. We have a Family Guy themed team. Family Guy, of course, a popular cartoon. Knockoff was an unbelievable move. Calling out the Terra Ghost. Platypuses is an experienced Furreter. You cannot get him with that obvious Terra Ghost. I mean, come on. And then after that, I think that is a significant statement. And Wes Rui is going to need perhaps Endure, Endeavor. Quick Attack. It's Meg on the field. Meg is going to need something. Focus Sash we need. No Focus Sash. No more Terra. And it's Expert Belt Furret, which is brilliant. It's extra damage on not only enemy Furret in its base form, but also Terra Ghost Furret with the knockoff is super effective damage. That might have been what pushed that damage roll to lethal numbers. We have Peter on the field, the main character. A Quick Attack has brought this Furret a bit lower, but I don't think that there's any recourse after a confident move like that. I mean, that was an unbelievable play. That might be the best Furret play I've seen in this entire tournament so far. And it's Lois. And I don't think that Lois has many prospects of... It's a defensively invested Lois, but there's 5 more Furrets to contend with. I don't know if this can be done. I just don't think it could be done. It's a hyper-offense strategy from Platypuses. But they're trying to coil, amnesia, chilling water, all this stuff. Just kill them. Just get them. Is a better strategy. Game 2 beginning any moment. Will we see an adaptation from Wes Rui to the... I mean, after a move like that, it works in the first game, but can you maintain that momentum going into Game 2? You are still in. You can still win this. Thinking about which Furret to open with. It might seem like, you know, they're all Furret. Haha. Yes, they're all Furret, but each Furret is very different. And it's a player versus player moment where you do want to lead with your Choice Scarf Furret inviting an early Terror, or do you want to lead with your Fling Flame Orb Furret, start things off with a tidy up opener for the BP follow-up and just go aggressive like that? Maybe a Choice Specs Furret to play around a Coil or a Charm opener, or even a Fling Flame Orb. And it looks like a Flame Orb. And in a surprising turn of events, this Furret does not have Frisk, it instead has Run Away with no competitive use. Wow. That is an insane move. Tricking the Flame Orb onto yourself. And then Fling does nothing, but you flung the Choice Scarf. And you burned yourself anyway, because you have a Flame Orb. That is a controversial opener. Body Slam. Rocky Helmet. Punishing the burned Furret. Dealing minimal damage, taking a lot from burn, and Brick Break is doing nothing. You gotta get Peter out of the field. Peter is not it. Peter needs to exit. People tell me that Facade Furret on Flame Orb is good. Flame Orb cuts your damage. Facade is not worth it over the utility of Body Slam, in my eyes. Anyway, this is another Flame Orb. It's another Flame Orb Furret. But you can't Flame Orb fling something that's paralyzed. You are the one that paralyzed it. I think that you don't know what is happening here. You need Choice Specs Furret, and you need it quickly. Choice Specs Furret can swiftly end this. It's paralyzed, it's slower. Chris, I better have a Choice Specs equipped. Knockoff? Chesterberry, that's not a Choice Specs. You're in trouble. You are in big trouble. Coil of your own. You will, against a paralyzed opponent, it might work. It might be your best bet, depending on your team structure. You might not have the Choice Specs Furret to get this elimination through. So you might have to just match the coil boosts, and without an item on your side, Knockoff is not doing enough. Knockoff is not enough. Rest. Okay. That's healed you significantly. However, 2 turns of resting, your Chesterberry is no longer there, so that enemy Furret has 2 turns to plot its devious mastermind plan. It could baton pass out to a sub-focus punch Furret. It could just brick break you. It could go anywhere. It could go to Linoon illegally. That would be against the rules, but the rules were meant to be broken. Just kidding, that would be invalid in the tournament rules and impossible to obtain, but some of these Furreters have tricks up their sleeve, the likes of which I have not personally ever seen. Alright. I see Gib and Greg in a battle. A substitute. This is what I thought would happen. This is what I was thinking. Is a substitute to punish the rest turns. Quick attack is a good move. And that's interesting. I mean, you're going here to match coils on a different Furret because your own Furret was paralyzed, so you probably feel you have better odds here. I do wonder, is sub-focus punch coming down? Because that would really deal significant damage to Chris from Family Guy. And I think Chris from Family Guy might even fall in a single hit, depending on the damage roll. We'll have to see how it plays out. A substitute, it's a move that tells a story. It is indeed a focus punch. It's damage. You have not broken substitute. It's 69%. 69% is an incredible bit of chip. Terror Ghost has outplayed, but it's a significant commitment. You have put your cards on the table with that Terror Ghost. Can you follow up? Now Platypuses can just Terror Ghost. It's a rest, all the way back up to fruition. Baton pass out. You are now sitting there for 2 turns. There's 2 turns of Furret Mayhem on the end. And I think that we could see a knockoff Furret come in and just very swiftly. Although knockoff is not dealing enough damage. We need Shadow Claw Furret. That's a Munby tech. Munby pioneered Shadow Claw Furret for this very situation. It may seem bad because most Furrets are normal type, but for this position, it's brilliant. With not only the crit chance, but the high base power. Endeavor will not work against a Terror Ghost Furret either. Knockoff is your best bet. Many people over-rely on the knockoff coverage, but in this situation, think of the itemless Chris from Family Guy Terror Ghost matchup, and it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough for such a matchup. Never mind. It is Platypus has done his calculations. And in fact, the -1 knockoff against an enemy Chris from Family Guy Terror Ghost +2 coil is a 3-hit KO. It is a 3-hit KO. And that is going to end Chris from Family Guy. And this Furret right here has a tidy up. It's got an accuracy boost and an expert belt. Wes Rui has spent the terror. And at simple brick break, it might just KO. Fling Flame Orb has put Wes Rui back into the conversation with an incredible reversal. An unbelievable reversal right there. You're still tidying up the place. If nothing else, Furret is a cleanliness fiend. Tidying up in the face of a burning house. You are burned and you are still tidying up the place. It's incredible. It's fortuitous. You've baton passed out. It's not your time, Furret. Go to a different Furret. Brick break is a good call out, but is it enough? Big Guy has joined the chat as a spectator, because this is the match of the century, of course. Now, this Furret is primed for a brick break, but Meg from Family Guy has tricks up her sleeve. Never mind. No, she does not. She is gone. To the grave, which Furret comes in. I think that many of them are chipped. This one, 2 of them are burned. It's not looking good for the Family Guy team. It is not looking good at all. And Platypus is a game up, of course, so just a terror fight, just to secure the advantage. It's a great way to play around defensive Furrets. Will we see I just want to see one Focus Sash Endeavor. It's a great way to get out of a jam. Focus Sash Endeavor Furret is great against these things. And we will take a look at Portobello Mushroom in just a moment. I think that this is a swift victory for Platypus's 0. We don't even need to see this one play out. Wes Rui is just biding time until their inevitable doom. And it's over. Stewie, a little child, only a baby, about to be hit with a brick break to the dome and defeated. Congratulations to Platypus is progressing. Portobello Mushroom, we remember from a previous round, with a convincing victory. Now, making a statement here with named Furrets, which is It's considered honorable in the Furret community to nickname your Furrets so they're more distinguishable. It's like a courtesy, but you know, not everyone is up to the task. Apparently these two players are friends and they are sparring partners. They've been practicing Furret used all night for this tournament, so this will be one of the highest level games of the tournament so far between two very experienced players that have faced each other in the Furret fields more than once. I can tell you that. That is Life Orb. It's been knocked off, and a Choice Band on the enemy side. With a 48% chip, you have double-edged your way into Brick Break range. I don't know. I think maybe that Brick Break range was there anyway. I mean, these players are playing at a very high level. They know these damage ranges. They know all these Furret ranges, of course. E has hit the field. E. And they've both frisked one another. One of them has a choice specs, and that is a fantastic thing to frisk. That can catch you off guard if you're not aware of it. On a baton pass from a coil. That's a common strategy. Coil baton pass to the choice specs Furret. And wow. Special defense on that Furret to live Focus Blast is a great adaptation. What did I say that these players are high level? And an agility pass, I mean, we could see reversal come down. You're going to BP out, but you better BP out to a Furret that lives a Focus Blast because... No, it's a miss. I mean, it's only 70% accurate. Without the coil boosts, this is a risky strategy. It can be very high reward, but high risk too. I'm realizing that I've been told that the Pokemon are named after all the letters in the Pokemon's name, Furret. And a Terra Ghost, pulling the trigger on Terra Ghost, but Thunder Games just exits. Does not want to Focus Blast into a Terra Ghost. That's awareness that we haven't seen yet in these previous... This is the highest echelon of Furret used and what it looks like, folks. That was a high-level maneuver. Nice move to come in on a Focus Sash Furret and take the knockoff, because Focus Sash is a lower value item to lose. You know, losing a Choice Specs or a Life Orb or an Expert Belt could be game losing, but losing a Focus Sash is... It's manageable, it's fine. There was a critical hit, but evidently this Furret is well prepared for such outlier situations. And what did I say? That Coil Pass to a Focus Blast Furret, and Focus Sash represents no special moves, but Portobello Mushroom with a genius Focus Blast, Focus Sash, Furret Receiver as a bluff. It was an elaborate bluff the entire time. And the Furret named T is well positioned, truly. Thunder Games is on the back foot in a big way. A Terra Steel. That is still weak to fighting. I think that a Hyper Voice was expected, but Hyper Voice did not come down. In fact, Hyper Voice, that's what we call knowledge, because Hyper Voice was used there to preserve Focus Blast PP, and they know that it does 19% precisely. That crit might have mattered depending on the Furret, but a lot of Furrets just fall there, so... Will this Furret live? It does, it does. That previous Furret may have lived. With defensive boosts, you're looking excellent in the face of this double edge. I mean, it's not going to be enough. And one more... I mean, this better be the best Furret ever done. It lived the hit, but at what cost? Ice Punch? You're going for Freeze Chance. It's a good move. Play to your outs, but... Thunder Games says this was embarrassing. These higher level Furret players hold themselves to a high standard. And when you're in a position where you're going for the Ice Punch Freeze as your only out, it's a little bit embarrassing. Here's game 2 of between Portobello Mushrooms and Thunder Games. Game 2. It's a point of pride between these two players, and they have come with their most valuable Furrets for a tournament game that is going to go down in the history books, I'm sure. Agility on a substitute. There is a level 1 Furret, I've been told. But I've also been told that a Furret does not learn Endeavor, and a Focus Punch to eliminate the first Pokemon is an aggressive opener that has really earned the respect of the viewers, I'm sure. It was a fantastic opener. That's a hard-hitting punch. A lot of people don't expect that much damage output from Furret, but looks can be deceiving, let me tell you. I think Sub Punch is one of the most underrated sets in this format, and Thunder Games is a player who's on top of the metagame and knows these things. A Quick Attack. The Sucker Punch was kind of a good move, getting Chip in there, actually outpacing Quick Attack. It is higher in the priority bracket. Double Edge is only dealing 40. Brick Break with significant Chip, falling to a Life Orb recoil there though. 4 on 5 Furrets, but worth noting the Thunder Games Furret here is very chipped at 41%. A simple Brick Break will finish this off. I've been told Quick Attack and Sucker Punch have the same priority. That's my mistake. There was a speed tie on the prior bracket there. Or it could have been a faster Sucker Punch Furret, we're not sure. Taking the opportunity to tidy up and coil against a weaker attacker. A critical hit could come down here though. Pitaya Berry has raised special attack! Wow! I have never seen Pitaya Berry, but that is brilliant. It's going to have Focus Blast damage, and Focus Blast we know is a safer way to get through Furrets. Amnesia, not a common tech at the moment. We're going to see this is the special Furret from before, and Hyper Voice. I mean, this is better than a Choice Specs Furret. You are not locked in. You're not locked in and you can't get taken advantage of by Terra Ghost. Terra Steel comes down. It's not going to work. You see, that's the thing, is it +1 accurate Focus Blast can still miss. It is a bit more accurate than 70, but still, a miss there is timely, and it was a call out on the Terra Steel, but Terra Steel knowingly, because forcing Focus Blast adds that out of the miss chance. And that's the position Thunder Games is trying to force there, but it didn't work out for hitting a single one is certain death. Another miss in the books. A Surf for powerful neutral damage will both bypass the defensive boosts, and it is 3-on-3 all of a sudden. Thunder Games bringing this one back. Wow. A forfeit from Portobello. He knows the position. He knows that it's over. Thunder Games bringing this back. I told you these two are evenly matched. Game 3 is here. This is the most intense one so far. This has been very close between these two players. Many Furreters will try to coil twice before they go for that Focus Blast endgame, but it is hard sometimes to find the turn to coil twice. And the level 1 Furret, what is it going to do here? Endeavor. I've been told misinformation. Furret does learn Endeavor, folks. What are you talking about? Someone in the chat told me that's not the case. It was a Furreter trying to conceal their tactics. Level 1 Furret has started this off with a real bang. And Quick Attack is not... Wait a minute. Quick Attack did 1%, but they died in a life form anyway. Wow. It was only one person. That's on me for listening to a single chatter. That's my own folly. Furret does indeed get Endeavor. I can't believe that sequence of events was really something. I cannot believe that. I mean, you can consider it a trade on the end of the Endeavor Furret. That appears to be choice banned on the enemy's side. Thunder Games going on the offensive. Double Edge is a 2-hit KO here. And Agility is an interesting play. Leftovers Chip Hill could come in could be a real factor. It's my mistake for listening to my chatters when I know things and they don't. I know everything about Furret. And it's a coil pass line from Portobello Mushrooms. Frisking the Choice Scarf is good there. Brick Break dealing a measly 20%. That's nothing. Sometimes I'm wrong too, it's okay. I know about Furret's moveset. I don't know about a little minutia like which has the priority bracket because I don't use moves like Sucker Punch. No. Anyway, back to the game. Gibbon, you've hit top 16 in Furret? Jeez. How's the bracket looking? Let's take a quick look at the bracket. Wait a minute. A Terra Fighting is a genius move there because that... Wow. A substitute. Terra Fighting for neutral typing against Brick Break. Allowing a sub to... And it's a boosted Focus Punch. That's going to deal lethal damage. Yes. I mean, Portobello Mushroom was the favorite to win this set, but I think that Thunder Games is looking like in a pretty commanding position here. Making a significant comeback last game, and now... I mean, it could really go either way as well. There's 4-on-4 Furrets. Knockoff is a good move. Lychee Berry has been eliminated. You could have actually Focus Punched there. That would have been a very advanced move to Focus Punch, but... The risk-reward wasn't too bad on a Focus Punch there. Are we going to see a... Okay, no time to substitute. Knockoff even through fighting typing. I think I agree with Focus Punching. It just denies another agility or a boost. Okay, you're up against a chipped and knocked off Furret. What will we see come down here? I want to see more Focus Punch Furret to punish these boosters. I think it's a simple and straightforward way to just punch them. Reversal comes down. It's not enough. Reversal is only doing 37. I mean, Thunder Games knows the damage ranges. Furret Games is not going to put you into reversal range. No. I can scarcely even analyze this position. It's so complex. But the Pitaya Berry tidy up Furret is unbelievable. We can say firmly that Coil is the Furret meta. Coil is the premier strategy in this format. And a second Coil will put you out of range of and you're going to consume your Pitaya Berry. The thing is that this better be a faster Furret. Nope. Button pass out. Thunder Games probably going for a critical hit at this stage. Critical hit would end things. But I think Portobello Mushroom with a couple coils has brought this position back into a favorable one. Thunder Games... I mean, there's still the chance of focus miss, I think. With this accuracy level, you can still miss Focus Blast. Goes for the aggressive Terra Fighting. It's not necessary, but it's just for show, just for the fans at home. I think Portobello Mushroom should go for Hyper Voice for accuracy's sake. Goes for the Focus Blast anyway. Focus Blast can't miss, actually. I've been told by Hypno Toad in the chat. I mean, Portobello Mushroom knows these numbers better than me.
And it looked dicey for a bit there. Great comeback in game 2. And this was a close game. But Portobello Mushroom goes through to the next one. Let's take a look at... Oh, Ozma versus Portobello Mushroom. We're going to check out this one. That's a big game. Ozma and Portobello Mushroom, both favorites in this tournament. This is one of the big ones. These are two Furret fanatics, and they have been on a tear this tournament. We saw Ozma in a previous game with some of the highest level Furret piloting so far, and Portobello Mushroom just had a very, very close and mentally taxing set against his sparring partner, Thunder Games. It was very close, down to the wire. So I think that these two Furreters are coming off a very exhausting tournament so far. It's taking all of their mental capacity. And it made the best Furreter win, is all I could say. Choice Specs, Ozma has been one of the pioneers of Choice Specs Furret. It's a simple and straightforward strategy. But Portobello Mushroom is a player that is not going to fall for such tricks. And see, this is the risk. You go for the Focus Blast on turn 1, and what if it just misses? It's a risky play. You can say it's bad luck, but you know that has a mischance. You're well aware. And of course, Portobello Mushroom is EV'd to live Focus Blast. You think that he wasn't prepared for this moment? Go on then. An exit point from Ozma, actually. Wary of a Terra Ghost, maybe? Didn't come down, but a BP out, and Portobello Mushroom showing serious Furret awareness, starting this game off with a coil pass. And Ozma, the Choice Specs Furret has not failed them thus far, but at a stage like this, at this stage of the tournament, are you going to rely on such inconsistent strategies? Portobello Mushroom showing serious dominance early on in this game. And Portobello Mushroom with the signature Pitaya Berry Furret, a signature strategy that has proven to be extremely consistent so far. Many people are saying that Portobello Mushroom is the greatest Furret player of all time, but Terra Electric was an interesting move. I mean, maybe expecting a Body Slam or well, we know it's not Fling Light Ball, but maybe even expecting a fighting type attack trying to get neutral. But a simple double edge for stab. And may I compliment Portobello Mushroom for remaining so devious. And you really don't know if it's going to be a special attacking Furret, a physical attacking Furret, fighting type move coming down? No. Just a stab move, calling out the neutral Terra Electric. Terra Electric has been a popular meta Terra type for some of these Furreters, but Portobello Mushroom is not going to fall for this trickery. A Life Orb, a quick attack plays around the Endure Reversal Furret. Prepared for absolutely everything. This is a master at work. This is a master at work. We are seeing a Furret masterclass before our very eyes. Endure Reversal, get quick attacked. Can any of these Furrets stand up to you? The most elite Furret of the event. What are the revealed moves? The last move could be Baton Pass to keep the chain going, or it could just be another unexpected pick for a fourth. Ozma has spent Terra. It's going to have to be Focus Sash. It is a very physically invested Furret there, and Charm might just stop the sweep, but the damage has already been done. I would say the damage has been done. And even with -2 attack, we're at neutral attack on this Furret. It's going to deal significant damage with Brick Break. I think that with 5 Furrets in the back, Portobello Mushroom can easily close this one out. Double Edge for a self-KO. Going out with style. Maybe that was more damage than Brick Break. I don't know the calculations. It gets intricate with that stuff, but if you're going to fall anyway, might as well do more damage and recoil yourself. Perhaps even play around sub-nonsense and other such things. Weakness Policy is a really interesting adaptation to the Brick Break metagame. Will this come into play? Agility up? I mean, this could reverse sweep if it lives, but I don't think Portobello Mushroom would be foolish enough to activate Weakness Policy by clicking Brick Break here, no. You could view the Weakness Policy as dissuading a super effective attack from Portobello Mushroom's end, because if he does attack into it, it could be a reverse sweep. It could be a reverse sweep, so it's kind of good dissuasion tactic from Ozma. Baton passing out, in fact. And it's the level 1 Furret, again, with an Endeavor. I mean, it's like much like chess. When you're ahead, you trade down. You do not shy away from trading your Pokemon. But this is where the Endeavor Furret fails, is the quick attack follow-up, which does not KO after the Endeavor. Munby is one of the best Furreters in the chat, and has some critiques about the team here from Ozma, but it gets a bit dicey in the Furret community sometimes. The drama is a bit much. I don't want to get into all that. Other people have very strong Furret opinions, and I don't know if it's worth getting into today. I would expect this particular Furret from Portobello Mushroom to have quick attack to make swift work of of Ozma here. Oh, it's defense invested. Same thing, and equally prepared for such a position, and looks like Lychee Berry Furret with defensive investment. Knockoff is a... That was a brilliant move, playing around the weakness policy there. And he just knows these ranges like the back of his hand. Living and activating the Lychee Berry for a reversal. That is a textbook Portobello Mushroom endgame. Playing around the weakness policy. You aren't going to trick Portobello Mushroom with any of these. Game 2 is here. And there's a statement for dominant game 1. Ozma, don't count Ozma out. Look, a choice specs for it, it may be inconsistent, but in the right position, it can really just tear apart. It's an aggro strategy. Some consider it a bit of a gimmick, but we'll see who comes out on top here. If I was a betting man, Portobello Mushroom would have my chips, but I never want to count out a player like Ozma who has shown significant consistency throughout the event. Many in the chat are saying Portobello Mushroom is cooking up a barbecue today. An elite level chef cooking up some tasty Portobello Mushrooms for us all. Some morsels of goodness. Tidy up from Ozma. Playing into the potential. But Ozma knows this position from last game and knows that the quick attack follow-up does not KO. And I think that this is a metagame advancement here, is that you realize that the Furret can't get this KO, so you can just tidy up spam. Now this is a really interesting... But attacking into the Furret leaves it on 1 HP. And now quick attack will KO. But you sucker punch the enemy Furret because you're prepared for it, Ozma. You're prepared for a move like that. I thought that Portobello Mushroom was playing the position brilliantly, but you came to play. Sucker Punch is going to play around quick attack for significant chip, and that is a great opening for Ozma, punishing Portobello Mushroom for a strategy that frankly was a bit exploitable. It's a rare tink in Portobello Mushroom's armor, and characteristic of one of Furret Used's most consistent players. I mean, starting this off at a disadvantage. Even on the Furrets, but one of these Furrets is 34% chipped. I think that Ozma is going to get a swift KO here. In fact, you're going to go for some setup. Push your advantage. It didn't work out after the... Well, Charm might allow for a safe substitute follow-up. That is a kind of a high-level move right there. A Charm? I mean, now you might not actually be able to deal enough damage to break a substitute Portobello Mushroom. You see, 22%. But that is enough chip to deny the substitute from happening at all, and Portobello Mushroom all of a sudden has evened this out. How does he do it? The position looked horrible. It's just these little minutiae, they all add up. Evening it out. Completely. That is the GOAT difference, they say. And agility from this, we know these agilities from Portobello Mushroom spell disaster for many opponents. We are going to need to see... Hyper Voice is a great move. It's more accurate than Focus Blast. Ozma knows that this is a 2-hit KO. Focus Blast is a risk that could cost your tournament life. You want to Hyper Voice for consistent damage. And Hyper Voice, of course, deals damage on the special side, making you very threatening against a defense-boosted Furret. This is what I am saying, is that all of these Furrets are focused on boosting their defenses. Ozma calls out a Terror Ghost with a switch out to a different Furret. Ozma is not going to so easily, but Portobello Mushroom clicks Endure. Scouting for knockoff. Baton Pass out this time. Okay, Portobello Mushroom might be cooking something up. A knockoff. And he knows that when the knockoffs are coming. Activates weakness policy with a switch into focus blast, but has a speed disadvantage and it gets 2-hit KO'd. Portobello Mushroom understood the possibility of the weakness policy proc, but knew that the follow-up KO was easy there. The follow-up KO was easy. Terra Electric to live focus blast. And Thunderbolt for more damage might just bring Ozma back into this, and it's not a bad Terra use because we know that Portobello Mushroom has already spent a Terra Ghost. Don't we, folks? I switch out there. Frightened of a Focus Blast to Hyper Voice. 2-hit KOs that incoming Furret. Ozma is really giving it their all, but knockoff against an itemless Furret is not going to be it. Living Focus Blast. Are we going to see a priority move to deal this last 5%? No, there's no priority move. These Furrets are not equipped for this situation, and I think that Hyper Voice... I think that in the previous turn you should have stayed in with this Furret. It was a bit of an over-prediction. I mean, it's a bold move. You want to take risks in positions like this. And Portobello Mushroom, with a convincing victory, looking really strong. in this event, of course. And what are we looking at in the bracket? Gibbon Greg is waiting to play the winner of Platypuses and Morale. Let's check this one out. They're in game 3 at the moment, so we're jumping into a game 3. Oh, this looks like a wrap for Morale, just based off the Furret count. Leftovers were knocked off, so no more healing from that Furret, but this paralyzed Furret on Platypus's side is being worn down, and this was kind of your all-in. Without this one, you could slowly crumble. There are 3 more Furrets to choose from, so allow me to take a look, though. I mean, this Furret is significantly chipped, and this one is also paralyzed. I gotta say that Morale's position, it looked bad when I first joined this battle, but as it stands, I think that Morale is about to close this one out, barring some horrendous luck. Endeavor has failed? Okay, is that a misclick or a misplay from Morale, or a miscalculation of some sort? Because Endeavor was not the move there. That's uncharacteristic move from Morale. And I'd wasted a Terra Fighting. Okay, finishing off Platypus's Terra Fighting Furret, hoping to outrun the enemy Furret there, I assume, but it was a speed tie. Or perhaps this enemy Furret is Choice Scarfed. Double Edge always dealing a clean 50 to these. And Thief has failed. Thief has just failed. I think that they had a Choice Scarf tricked onto them, that's why. They just had to click a move, and that was it. And Rest, I mean, delaying the inevitable perhaps, because 1 Furret against 2 is not a good spot. The Terra Fairy, Super Fang to bring it to 50, yes. I think a Double Edge follow-up could get there, of course. Baby Doll Eyes, and another Rest. I mean, maybe there's a world where Platypus can maneuver this end game, but with permanently lowered attack, I don't love the position, no. Locked into Rest as well. Choice Scarf Rest, yeah. I didn't even see that, but that's a loss. You cannot actually make any progress. It is done. And Platypus forfeits with honor. It is the match of the century. Morale versus Gibbon Greg, also known as Munby in the chat. Okay, Gibbon Greg is a player that I have sparred with and Furret used. You could check out Jibby the Gaming for those games. Me and him pioneered this format. We are the creators of this very format. So I think that if any player, Gibbon Greg has the most hands-on experience. I mean, there's up-and-comers like Portobello Mushroom, who have shown to be really, really strong in the current landscape, but Gibbon Greg just has that experience and that longevity in the format that you cannot put a price on something like that. And it's a knockoff opener. Eject button on that one. Eject button got knocked off. Gibbon Greg has the focus sash to deny any nonsense from the enemy Furret, any kind of aggressive. And he's got a playstyle that's more careful, going for the body slam paralysis, an unfortunate outcome here, getting parried himself. Super Fang, though. Actually, that knockoff was perhaps an overprediction from Gibbon, expecting a switch out. Alright, 1 Furret down in the early game, okay. The favorite to win this set at a bit of a deficit early on. I mean, are we going to see a comeback? I hope so. Maybe this is, a lot of people do this gambit where they sacrifice the first Furret to get a safe switch into the second, because that actually denies frisk, so you can keep your item hidden. And I am noticing that Baby Doll Eyes is much better than I ever thought because of the priority attack debuff. Landing the body slam paralysis there is crucial, and Gibbon Greg is in a position where switching repeatedly seems to be powerful. I mean, quick attack actually plays around Baby Doll Eyes. That's what he was going for, trying to have attack on this Furret, because they're even in the priority bracket, and quick attack goes first. Trying to maneuver in this quick attack Furret. That looked weird, but it was very high level. That was a very high level sequence. Trying to maintain your attack stat on the following subsequent Furret switch from the enemy. EV'd for this double edge post Rocky Helmet chip, and body slam dealing a considerable 44% protect here. Bit of scouting. Okay. That's 1 move slot revealed. Sucker Punch. Almost just, and post recoil damage, that is going to deal with that Furret. And Gibbon Greg has even this one out. Wow. Those damage numbers are get very intricate. Reversal at full health? That is not the move. Maybe expecting to be attacked there. A trick Choice Scarf has just put Gibbon Greg on the back foot as he is locked into coil. U-turn on a Rocky Helmet is a significant chip there. Okay. I think that Gibbon Greg made a real blunder. And the first ever shiny Furret is on the field. It's a literal disadvantage to run this because you can distinguish it from the other Furrets. But Throat Spray is brilliant! I've not thought of that, but it activates after Hyper Voice. Coil gonna boost up. Focus Blast will now be accurate. Body Slam Para. No. Is Munby caught off guard by this? Does he have counterplay? Does he have a... The shiny Furret is shiny for a reason. Terra Ghost. Brick Break. And a Focus Blast gets thwarted, but that is a Kara spend. And it's rough because Terra Electric Thunder. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is the highest level Furret game I have ever seen. Throat Spray, Terra Electric Thunder Furret. I never thought I would ever imagine such a thing. This is unbelievable. But you do have to land another Thunder. You landed it. It's a powerful Furret to land that twice in a row. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I am speechless. Gib and Greg caught off guard by some of these new up-and-coming Furreters. Is this old school player getting defeated by the new school Furreters? I mean, it looks that way. It looks like out with the old, in with the new. No. At Focus Sash. But Terra Electric Furret is immune to paralysis. Morale has optimized this endgame to the greatest extent, playing around even the Body Slam paralysis out from Gib and Greg. I also forgot to mention that Thunder is perfectly accurate. That's my mistake. I thought that there was a risk there. There was not. The Coil boost, of course, making Thunder perfectly accurate. And just a flashy finisher there with the tidy up reversal to Gib and Greg, uncharacteristically losing that first game. One of the favorites to win this tournament, going out against Morale, an up-and-coming Furreter. Mumby says in my own YouTube chat, this team is too advanced. I mean, these new school players are getting crazy with, like... I'll admit that the metagame is getting really, really optimized these days. Knock off the eject button. It's still a good opener. It was not a bad opener last game, so Gib and Greg sticking to his guns with this line early on with the baby doll eyes, tanking it for the knockoff opener. And just going for these slam paras. And knows the numbers, getting one more in there. Decent health trade, but slight disadvantage early on, of course. Okay. But Gib and Greg can get a quick... Not going to play around with the quick attack position earlier because you revealed your hand. Well, this is probably a quick attack Furret just to finish this off. You risk the body slam para... No, the Rocky Helmet chip. That's a good way to eliminate that Furret. So nicely done by Gib, and that's the old school tech there. Old school experience coming into play there with that Rocky Helm switch in. But will this be... I mean, what kind of Furret are we looking at here? Rocky Helmet into the double edge and charm. Significant damage. Just all from recoil. That Furret not moving a muscle. And dealing damage. Just with a well-equipped helmet and the recoil of the enemy. It's Choice Band Furret. We know that. Experienced Furreters will know the damage ranges there. But the question is, will Gib and Greg commit to a Terra? I think that it would not be a good move. While red card has been frisked, and Gib and Greg should be aware of that. Brilliantly played. Not going to fall for that twice on the trick. Not overcommitting to boost, baton passing out. You have now spent your trick. And frisk while red card. Played around by the knockoff. That is old school experience right there. You cannot red card if it gets knocked off before. Morale going for a body slam paralysis Hail Mary, but it's not going to work. Okay, Gibbon. Chilling Water, I will say, was a good move. That was a good move. But, I mean, Gib and Greg is in a pretty commanding position here with speed on the speed boost, and Leftovers chip healing is adding up every turn. Adding up every single turn. Terra Fairy is a defensive... Wow. Calling out a knockoff. And coiling in the face of knockoff. Okay, this... Terra Fairy... It's not a common Terra. Usually Terra Ghost, Terra Electric has been on the rise in the modern metagame, but Terra Fairy is sort of an old school tech. It resists the Brick Break and knockoff, but... And Gibbon going for these slam paras. Not landing any of them. These Furrets are not... I mean, Morale has really turned this around with that brilliant Terra Fairy play, and Gibbon is going to need something really excellent here. Terra Normal? Body slam for more and it finally landed a para. I mean, one of them has to land at some stage. Committing to Terra Normal is a big move. Will that bring you back, Gibbon? You are going to need to out-damage all of these Furrets on your own. And I don't know if it's doable, but Morale is really pushing this format to the limits, and you are just... This old dog cannot keep up with the new tricks. I just am going to say it outright. He might be upset to hear it, but... You need to adapt to the modern metagame, Gibbon. You need to adapt. You have to adapt right now, and you need to outplay Morale with your experience. Reversal was collected. That is great information for Gibbon. Will he play into the reversal? Reversal focus deals more damage the lower health you are. Okay. Bringing Morale down to the Sash, decided to go for it. Sucker Punch was clicked there. Because Morale knows that Quick Attack is the follow-up. It's obvious. These players are experienced. Okay. Can Quick Attack deal 22? It actually can. Oh my gosh. Morale set up for that, but there was a Sucker Punch crit. Was really, really unfortunate there on Gibbon's end. Putting him into range of that Quick Attack, but Morale brilliantly playing to outs there. Okay. Looks like Choice Band, we know that because of that deal 22. Experienced players will know. But you're locked into Quick Attack, and that's an exploitable point. Gibbon Greg squeezing in that little bit of leftovers chip heal. Brick Break. 2 forwards against 1. I think that Gibbon Greg might be clawing back into this. And it's this classic shiny Furret. Wow. Okay, they're living on 1 HP. I cannot believe it. Gibbon Greg closes it out. That could have gone either way. That Focus Blast could have finished it. And Gibbon will not go out without a fight. 1-1. Tournament life on the line. Who is going to progress? The people love a game 3. Some have called Gibbon Greg the, like the mango of Furret used. And it's a common moniker, and it's true. You can never count him out. U-turn is it's a scouting Furret on turn 1 from Morale. Playing into the Rocky Helmet there. A little bit of a... I don't know if you should play into Rocky Helmet turn 1, but eject button out. Okay, just scouted a lot of scouting here, but eject button being spent there is interesting. I mean, gonna go for the knockoff on the helm. Taking chip damage in the process, but eliminating chip damage for the rest of the game, of course. But Gibbon Greg with a proactive charm, knowing what Morale sort of wants to do in this spot, and just denying the coil pass with that charm. I mean, coil pass can, of course, go to special attackers. We've seen that in a few occasions here, but it's yet to be seen what Morale will choose to do. It could actually be about... Some of them do the Focus Energy play. That's been a common strategy, and Focus Energy would bypass your own attack debuffs. And Gibbon Greg is commenting on the lack of body slam paras throughout this. It's true. It's true. I mean, it hasn't been great on that end, but one of those players that, despite some poor fortune, you can maneuver out of these positions with a bit of Furret ingenuity. A Choice Band Furret, not a great Pokemon to switch in on. Gibbon Greg maybe just trying to rack up recoil damage to eliminate it. That's like a chess maneuver because, you know, you eliminate the Choice Band Furret, they have no more breaking power, and you can win an endgame. You're trying to, like, set up for an endgame, but it's a risky move because you're taking big damage short term. And the slam is going to... Wow, I did not expect that slam to KO after a coil boost, but it did. It's down. It's just very close between these two. They are evenly matched, and I think Morale came into this hot as an up-and-comer with a big Game 1 win, but Gibbon Greg is showing his experience. I mean, knockoff was an over-prediction there. Knocking off into the itemless Furret. Bad move, Gibbon, I'm sorry to say, but maybe thinking to switch up was coming there. Morale is not going to let that happen on turn 15. No. Oh, you got the ID glitch? Yeah, that's, I mean, that's part of the metagame, might be. You should have experience enough to know that these Furrets are not what they seem. These Furrets are not what they seem. These Furrets are not who they say they are. Okay? And committing to the Terra Ghost is a bold move. That is permanent. You can never use it again, but you are pushing your lead with such a move, and switching in knockoff, trying to deny the potential item removal. And Body Slam will finish you off, but Morale knows that Gibbon Greg is not going to just click Body Slam again into one of their baby little eyes, and goes for Charm, but Morale does the straightforward 12% chip with knockoff inching his way. And a Slam Para on the fresh Furret is a devastating reversal from Morale. My gosh. I don't know what Gibbon was thinking there. You turn out. Oh my gosh. Gibbon Greg's Furret has lived. Are we getting more Furret value? Body Slam. No Para. That Para would have been enormous, but it didn't come down. Oh my word. It's 4-on-4 Furrets right now. It's a 4-on-4. Okay. Okay. 33% health remaining, and the Terra Ghost Furret is coming in to just bully this low health Furret. Protect for scouting is the optimal move, and chip heal, of course. It's a devastating move there. Pushing his advantage, of course. Gibbon Gregory. It's a nail biter, this one, absolutely. Shiny Furret comes in. I mean, it could be a mind game with the Shiny Furret. Maybe it's a different Furret this time, and you're trying to pretend that's the previous Shiny Furret again. That's a common... That's a pretty high-level move, but some have done it before, and it works sometimes. It works sometimes. No, it's the same Furret, and that's the greatest mix-up of all. And that's a risky move to go for the Thunder there. It can miss. You don't have any coil boosts, but it has paid off majorly. You have just paralyzed that ghost type Furret, and that is the kind of risky move you need to claw back. So I agree with the choice. I agree. I think that it was smart. And this shiny Furret has some accuracy now. I don't think the Thunder's perfectly accurate. And there it is. It's not accurate. Be careful. Just give him grab, have dig. Gibbon Greg knows the ranges. Tidy up again. It looked greedy. Red card. Sucker punch failed. Baton pass out. Not going to let your Furret die that easily, Gibbon. No. Full health Furret with tidy up boost might all of a sudden, and Gibbon just makes these situations, pulls them out of a hat. Trick. You have tricked him into brick break. He knew that you were going to do that, and he locked into the most optimal move, sealing your fate. Sash. Wait a minute. Wait a moment. Reversal. You live. But a priority move. You cannot stop a priority move right now. You can't stop it. You're locked into brick break. Okay, Morale has engineered a win condition. This is close. I don't know who's going to win this. Sucker punch. Not prepare for it. Just a Terra Electric Furret remaining, but this is the best Furret. This is, if there's any Furret that can do it, it's this one. 21%. And one more. It's down to the last two Furrets. And that is it. Morale with an upset. The closest game of this tournament so far. Wow. That Gibbon Greg revealed in the chat that Furret was not speed boosted from a nature. So Morale with the faster Furret. That was not a speed tie. Morale had the faster Furret. But the tournament moves on, of course. And soon, some real titans will be facing off. I believe that we're waiting for Morale versus Sky Warrior 99, a player that has been having a silent sort of... And Morale taking a second to decompress after that very intensive match. I mean, Gibbon Greg is one of the favorite players in this tournament, so a lot of people are now hoping that Morale, after eliminating their chief player, makes a statement in the rest of the event. We can only hope so. We can only hope so. And where are we in the bracket? I mean, this might be... Is this quarterfinals, I think? This is quarterfinals. Let's get into it, folks. Baby Doll Eyes opener. I apologize for not understanding the Baby Doll Eyes technology, because that has been proven to be used by some of the highest level Furreters. And I was not aware. I was not aware. Sky Warrior with a custom avatar, which of course gives you an advantage cosmically. And now Morale is the fan favorite in the chat. They are cheering him on after that impressive show. Just an absolute show against Gibbon Greg. Truly. Some of the highest level Pokemon ever played in general. And it's the signature shiny Furret. The signature shiny Furret. And we know this Furret does not mind getting burned. But never mind, it was a mix-up on the shiny Furret. This one is not the special attacker. It looks to be a reversal Furret. Morale is a player who does these weird moves like preemptive reversal, and a lot of players, they think it's kind of an overcommitment to preemptively reversal like that. But, I mean, it didn't work out here, but sometimes that play can actually get an early KO and put you way ahead. Okay. Gonna go for slam paras. You know, akin to throwing out a jab in a boxing match, just testing the waters with a slam attempt. Going to a different Furret. Okay. A coil boost and committing to Terra Ghost. Morale crucially not playing into it and showing some real restraint there. Knocking off a light ball, and Fling has failed. That is an incredibly high level move. Playing around Fling light ball, denying that paralysis, pushing the advantage further. Sky Warrior has come to play, folks. This is not going to be a wash like it was against Gibbon. In that game 1 against Gibbon. No. Terra Fairy is a bold move. I think that Morale was hoping to counteract a brick break, but it did not come down. Sky Warrior knows that these Terras come out in these sort of high pressure situations and knows not to play into something like that. And just coil, push the advantage further. Go for it. Go, go, go. Body Slam is going to deal lethal. And gee whiz, a para, full para. I mean, I don't think that Terra Fairy Furret could have done much in that anyway. But it's just insult to injury. It's salt in the wound. E-Sky Warrior. So far making short work of Morale. I mean, this is a commanding position. No Terra anymore. Charm. Okay, Charm was a good move to bring it back, but Morale gets paralyzed there. Oh, jeez. I may the best forward win, they always say. And I think that we know who's... that is just a fantastic forward. Getting a critical hit. It's hard to pull off on... It's just a little weasel. And he's gotten a critical hit. It's... Wow. Baby Doll... This is why Baby Doll Eyes is good in the meta right now, because it can just punish these overcommitted forwards with its priority minus attack. See, it's only doing 14. Even getting parried here is not too bad, because... Morale showing some good theory here. Like, studied these lines for sure. These new up-and-comers are very technically sound with the intricacies. So, E-Sky Warrior has a more proactive playstyle. Less in the books and studying the lines, more just intuition, vibes, you know? And we have the choice scarf. I don't recall if this is a choice scarf forward or if it's a different forward. It could be anything. It's the throat spray forward. It is the throat spray forward. And incredible awareness to just knock off the throat spray right off the bat, denying the special attack boost that may have spelled the disaster. I will say, though, that this Furret Ghost is impervious to Focus Blast and Hyper Voice. So it's all about Thunder here, and Thunder has not paralyzed. It's inaccurate as well. There's one coil boost in the books, but it's still not perfectly accurate. And no, E-Sky Warrior is just on top of the body slam paras, getting them multiple times here. Sometimes the Furret upstairs, the prime Furret that lives in the clouds, just smiles upon you and grants you good fortune. And we're seeing that with E-Sky Warrior. It's a factor to consider in the games like this is, you know, Sky Warrior just comes from above and there's nothing to be done. I mean, I'm scarcely able to find words to say to Morale here to perhaps... It's a 6-0 so far. 6 Furrets versus 3. It is a wash, and it's a forfeit with honor. Morale has left the battle. Has Morale left the tournament? Appears to be offline. No. They're in game 2. They're back. Okay. I thought Morale quit the tournament, but no. Morale is a high-level player. Not going to quit out that easily. Not going to quit out that easily, no. The amount of forwards on screen is just ridiculous. Some people are saying that Sky Warrior may have hacked Morale's computer. I don't think that happened, no. That would be very dishonorable, and it's not commonplace in the Furret metagame to do dishonorable, underhanded tactics like that. These Furret players they are proud, and they want to win on their own terms on the battlefield with honor, okay? They are not going to do that. This is an honest competitive format, not like some of the other ones you've seen on Smogon and elsewhere. This is Furret used, and this is the highest caliber of Pokemon player in the world, okay? Can we understand that? A switch out on a Protect is a good move to kick things off. And Gerald Harold in the chat is complimenting Morale on the deep knowledge of Furret calculations. And I agree. Morale has been on top of the intricacies here. Super Fang has brought Furret down to 50-ish, but it's a leftovers Furret outpacing the damage perhaps. Baby Doll Eyes is the bread and butter for Morale. It's an expressive format where you see people just... Like Portobello Mushroom has the signature Pitaya Berry Furret. Morale has the Baby Doll Eyes fundamentals, and then the shiny Throat Spray Furret as sort of the flashy finisher. And every player has their own flair in this format. It's an interesting positioning. The tidy up is you're gaining speed, but are you getting attack? No. Baby Doll Eyes is thwarting that at the moment, anyway. Last Resort. We have not seen that so far, but that is a pretty excellent option, actually. Last Resort can only be used if you've used all your other moves first. So we could actually expect maybe a tidy up. No, they just used every other move. And that's a massive base power attack dealing... I mean, Morale has ran a lot of calcs, but probably not the Last Resort damage roll right there. That was unexpected. That was not expected. Okay, E-Sky Warrior, though, is unfortunately gonna have to be on -1 attack going into the next Furret interaction, but still, I think that Last Resort surprise has earned an early KO for E-Sky Warrior. And... with one game up, I think that Morale is maybe starting to feel the pressure. This is where many Furreters crumble. But I don't know if Morale is going to go down that easy. We have to see what do they got in store. A knockoff gets rid of the eject button. Not going to play into any of this nonsense. E-Sky Warrior is a very fundamentally solid player like that, just denying all these tricks. Get it out of here. Eject button, knocked off. Throat Spray, out of here. Such awareness. But Baby Doll Eyes is eating E-Sky Warrior alive right now. This Furret might be very exploitable. It is not going to do enough damage. And just like that, switching to a different Furret and Morale on top of it with a Super Fang, that might be enough to claw back some momentum. Getting significant chip on this incoming Furret. Hyper Voice comes down, dealing probably some more unexpected damage. Does Morale get a Body Slam power? Well, you cannot complain about that, E-Sky Warrior. How many powers have you got this game? Morale finally getting one in a timely position to 2-hit KO this Furret. And Figgy has become a member in honor of that brilliant move. Thank you. You have done it. Quick Attack only deals 20%, but it plays around Baby Doll Eyes, getting some damage in there before the attack debuff. Quick Attack now not going to KO after the debuff, even with a Choice Band equipped. What did I tell you about Morale running some of these calcs? I mean, seriously knows these numbers like the back of their hand. Unbelievable. Switching out to Furret. And which Furret will Morale bring in? I mean, the shiny Furret could actually go for a sweep, but no. Frisk's Leftovers. Interesting switching from Sky Warrior to a more defensive Furret here. That tells us something about what his game plan might be in this position. Tidy up. Leftovers tidy up. Fling Light Ball. Okay, you are not sweeping with this Furret. That's a big statement. Coil up. Not only you're not going to sweep, you are my setup for the last resort misclick. That's not going to work. You need to use all your other moves. You have failed. That Furret has failed. Okay, in comes Furret. But staring down 2 coil boosts, I mean, okay, I see. Fling Flame Orb Furret. It might just stop this sweep, and indeed, you have been Flame Orbed. But you BP out, prepared for such a move. Genius. It's the shiny Furret. Are you going to reverse this into a special Furret endgame? This is Morale's signature line. Always making moves like this, and BP out. You can't Fling Flame Orb twice, you can only do it once. Morale knows it. Expending that resource, and oh my, it's a focus set on Morale's side revealed. Just ensuring the victory in further, perhaps. E-Sky Warrior has a serious uphill battle ahead. Has to get through a focus sash and all of these boosts. This is a lot. This is a lot. And this shiny Furret is a signature of Morale. We're going to need to see Endeavor. Trick Choice Scarf could do it. Endure. No Slam Para. It was a Slam Para at the worst time, but it was red card. Folks. That is going to deny the sweep. At the cost of an entire Furret. At the cost of an entire Furret, but it does put E-Sky Warrior back into the conversation. Choice Scarf revealed, gaining information. Okay. I mean, that Furret has nothing to click with. That's a useless Furret. Basically, you could consider Morale to have 3 Furrets instead of 4. That Choice Scarf trick completely demolished that other Furret. So, this one's burned. This is the coil boosting Furret that can bat and pass out. Gonna try and re-establish the foot in the door, but E-Sky Warrior now. Facade to play around the Flame Orb metagame. We have seen it. Facade has a boosted power when you are burned or statused at all. And oh my gosh, that is dealt. Morale thought he was completely safe against the burned Furret, but no. Unexpected damage output from Facade is going to... Okay, it's a sash. Reversal. Wow. Wow. Morale has a plan. Morale has a way out. But you are vulnerable to Quick Attack right now. Quick Attack will get you. You're going to Sucker Punch for chip on the way out. It's a common line. It's the optimal line, some say, but it's the book move. But Terra Ghost spent. And a tidy up. This is a huge risk, but Morale is saying you don't have Sucker Punch for this. Reversal. Wow, depending on the last 2 Furret movesets, Morale might just bring this back completely in one of the most incredible comebacks we've ever seen. I don't know if this is going to be a win. Furret needs Sucker Punch right here. Terra Ghost! Right back. E-Sky Warrior with an incredible clapback right there. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, but that allows a coil boost on the Throat Spray Shiny Furret, and I don't know if this... Thunder! It parried, of course it did. Coil. Okay, E-Sky Warrior still needs... Incredible move, but you need to close it out. You have to close this out. This is the brilliance of Thunder Furret, is that it does such neutral damage against these Terra Ghost Furrets that think they're safe against your normal moves. No. Thunder is now perfectly accurate, and it's going to slowly but surely chip down this near game-winning Furret. And we are down to the wire. Body slam gets there. Attack boosted. You are paralyzed. There's one Furret remaining. There is one Furret left. E-Sky Warrior, a game up. This is tournament victory. Not tournament victory, but tournament progression on the line. Choice Scarf Trick. Wow. Full para is actually lucky. You can now choose what to lock into. Charm. Full parrot again. Morale with one Furret against two. But this is a commanding position. Body slam. It lands the paralysis. What does this last Furret have? It's completely unrevealed. It's a 100% health. I mean, I think that because of that para, E-Sky Warrior is firmly in the event. No, it is actually paralyzed Furret. Charm. Oh my word. Okay. The slam is dealing 39. Knockoff. Critical hit. Knocking off leftovers is enormous here because denying such chip heal. Wow. And E-Sky Warrior has the liberty of switching out here to get rid of that charm debuff. No, Morale does not have such a luxury at the moment. And Furret, I think that this Furret is favored. It's got leftovers on Protect. Is going to earn chip heal. I think E-Sky Warrior should switch out. Thank you for the donation from Not a Fed, I promise. For this Furret action. I mean, this is one of the most intense Pokemon sets I think that has ever been played. It is just down. Last Resort comes down. It did such sheer base power despite like 3 charms there that it has dealt an impressive... Wow, knocking off the tricked leftovers is a brilliant move. That is such awareness. Okay. And that was a quick one. That was so quick to have such awareness. Last Resort is doing considerable damage despite all these attack debuffs. A full para, but only 8% remaining on the final Furret. E-Sky Warrior just needs one more hit, and there it is, folks. E-Sky Warrior bringing it all the way back, and just a dominant performance against Morale there. Morale, I mean, geez, giving it their all in this one. I cannot believe how close that was, and other formats cannot come close to the level of just high octane gaming that we're seeing here. We are getting into the serious nitty-gritty. Getting into, I think, semifinals is starting soon. Portobello Mushroom is currently playing this for the semifinals position. Okay, let's take a look at Portobello Mushroom and Little Fellow. We're a bit late here. Portobello Mushroom with a Game 1 victory, but Game 2 is underway. And Portobello Mushroom with a couple speed boosts in the book so far. Furret deniers are furious at what they're seeing on their screens right now. I absolutely agree. Little Fellow versus Portobello Mushroom, who... Portobello Mushroom is often considered the favorite of this event, but I mean, E-Sky Warrior and some of these other high-level competitors are really giving... At this, that was just unbelievable. A red card has denied those speed boosts. Red card is a high-level adaptation in the current meta, for sure. This is really intense right here. Because there's an agility boost, and I think that Portobello Mushroom has gone for the classic gambit, the coil pass to special Furret with a Pitaya Berry. That is his signature. He is known for that. It is a move that he invented, that he pioneered, and it's a classic. I mean, Charm? You bait them to Charm. It's a waste of their momentum. It's a waste of their turns, and then you go to the Focus Blast Furret, and it's over all of a sudden. And I think that Portobello Mushroom could learn something from the Morale developments with the Terra Electric Furret. You know? Like, these players build off one another. A rising tide defeats all ships or something like that. And Terra fighting is not enough to... That's an early Terra commitment. I think that could have been a misplay. That could have been a misfire from Little Fellow right here. Switching into a different Furret, and you have all the boosts in the world. I think that we're probably going to see Hyper Voice come down. It's just my prediction. A Pitaya Berry? I mean, we could see various things. Furret has many options, but it's a tough position. The Brick Break extra damage there might be the deal breaker. I mean, that's a Throat Spray Furret as well. Terra fighting to secure an advantage. And Portobello Mushroom, like I said, building off the greats. Taking the technology from Morale, one of the most studied players at Furret used, and using Throat Spray with Hyper Voice, which is a common strategy at the moment. And we can see why. I mean, this is a commanding position for Furret right now. And I don't know if Furret can withstand this onslaught. Look at this. Focus Blast. Sash. That's what you need. That's what you need here. Are we going to see Endeavor? Yes. Yes. Is Portobello Mushroom ready for it? You've gone all in on this Furret. And sometimes all in can be a mistake. Sometimes all in is not the way. Because Endeavor Quick Attack is going to seal this Furret's life. You need more. The thing is that Little Fellow has also spent Terror, so Little Fellow might be out of steam. You have stopped the sweep, but Portobello Mushroom is up on the Furret count if you consider that this Furret is on 1%. And we've got some Furret drama in the chat. I mean, some of these Furreters are upset at the outcomes of this time. It's a dirty game Furret used. It gets heated. It gets emotional. It gets personal. And we know it to be true. It's a very competitive metagame. It's very serious, okay? It's very serious stuff. And Thunder Games, one of the fallen heroes of this format, is cheering on Portobello Mushroom in the chat. We know that they're sparring partners, so... Sleep Talk Furret has completely caught Portobello Mushroom off guard. That is not expected there, and that has gotten an unexpected KO. I think that Rest Furret is usually a sitting duck, but no, Sleep Talk. Some proactivity. Okay. Level 1 Furret comes out, and you know when the level 1 Furret comes out that it's dire straits for Portobello, bringing out all the stops. Level 1 Furret is a desperation play. Is Sleep Talk going to hit this Furret into its endeavor? No. Genius move by Little Fellow, not hitting the enemy Furret. That is high level. If you Sleep Talk and hit the Furret, it goes to 1 health and it can subsequently quick attack to finish you off. But this is a play that takes advantage of the limitations of level 1 Furret. It's a gimmick. You cannot rely on something like this at what is it, quarterfinals here? You see, Endeavor? A level 1 Furret has about 30 HP. And a level 1 Furret quick attack is not going to do it. Endeavor could get stalled. This is a seriously high level sequence happening right now. The Leftovers also plays around the quick attack. You guys are right. So Little Fellow knows the matchup even better. But still, you don't want to play into a potential Furret follow-up, do you? You don't want to play into a Furret follow-up, no. Tidying up the place. Sleep Talk has whiffed. Sleep Talk hits Rest, the worst outcome. That's rough. But you can be thankful that it hit on the surprise turn earlier. That was high value, so can't be too upset. Furret has woken up from a slumber, knocking off that Pitaya Berry. That is the Portobello Mushroom signature plan, and it is gone. It is out the window. No more Pitaya Berry. Can Portobello Mushroom still close this out without the special attack boost? Gonna pivot out to something else. Gonna go for a different plan here. A different Furret, a different day. Okay. Reversal! That caught even me off guard. I did not expect reversal. It was a critical hit to bypass those boosts. Oh my gosh. The Furret upstairs, the one who makes all the rules, smiling upon Portobello Mushroom with some good fortune right there. There is a Furret for every day of the week, including Furret Friday. And this fighting type Furret is neutral to fighting and normal. Good switch in from Little Fellow. But with 3 attack boosts, is this going to live reversal? I think Endure. It's a pretty telegraph move. Little Fellow played into it. Wow. Is this a quick attack follow-up? It could be a quick attack follow-up from Little Fellow. I think that we might see something like that. No, Portobello Mushroom goes for the... That could have been a tournament loss. If you were wrong. If a quick attack came down. But no, you stick to your guns on the reversal click there. Do any of these remaining Furrets have priority to eliminate this 1 health Furret? We are going to have to see. No, there's no quick attack coming down. Or is this advanced mind games? You're scared to click it. Wow. And just a reversal. Portobello Mushroom is the GOAT. So far. This is incredible. Unbelievable. And I think that we got another high caliber match. E-Sky Warrior versus the Stinky. Stinky is a player who has been making a run. I'm late to the party. Game 1 is already over and E-Sky Warrior getting an early advantage. My mistake. Okay, we're a bit late to the party here, but E-Sky Warrior up a game against the Stinky. The Stinky says good luck, have fun in the chat. An honorable and sportsman-like Furreter. Which is what you want here. We're getting into the seriously upper echelons of this tournament now. Choice Scarf and Flame Orb respectively in the lead slot. Leading with Flame Orb is risky because you reveal it early. You reveal it early, but Zastinky knocks off the Flame Orb, predicting a fling, but E-Sky Warrior with a Tidy Up is a really high-level move, playing around the fling play-around. Do you see what I mean here? Do you see what I mean here? I mean, gee, like a fling Flame Orb is a common line, but the Tidy Up just totally sidesteps that, and with an early advantage, you are tidying up the entire world. BP out. Where are we going? Where are we going? We're going somewhere great, I hope. Furret. We've gone to Furret. Rocky Helmet revealed. That's great information. Slam Para? No. No Slam Para. I wonder if Furrets are going to start running Lumberry to play around these Paras. Or I want to see a rise in Terra Electric because I think Slam is dominating the meta right now. Terra Electric is one of my favorite Furrets. A Terra Ghost Click. Wow. Setting up for a 2-hit on this Rocky Helmet and good immunity enabler there, but that's a big early commitment. Are you going to... And there's knockoff. Actually, knockoff last turn was slightly more optimal to deny a Rocky Helmet chip, but who am I to say that maybe you're trying to bring yourself down to reversal range? I don't know, it gets high level. Enemy Furret, full health, unrevealed. No friskables. Sucker Punch. You played around to complete with Coil. Wow. E-Sky Warrior is going crazy with these callouts. I mean, geez. That is just such an advantage to call that out there. Sucker Punch is now going to have to contend with that defense boost, and that might be the only dark coverage on this Furret. And then if you... I think that E-Sky Warrior has the awareness to know you could just push for more boosts. No, just goes for a slam and eliminates an entire Furret. An entire Furret is gone. Even I was caught off guard. I thought another coil was coming down. No, it's just a slam. Just slam him. This Stinky has a Terra to spend, but at what point do you Terra and at what point do you... Terra Dark. It's not going to do anything. I thought a Sucker Punch was coming down. No. No. That was a desperation, but maybe out of Terra Ghost Furrets. The Terra Ghost Furret might have been the one that got eliminated. Trying to go in there on the coil turn Terra Ghost for a reversal. It didn't work. Super Fang fails on Ghost types. This Stinky says oops in the chat. That was a misfire. That was a misfire. Whoops. That's no good. Baby Doll Eyes, I mean, at this stage, it's just not going to be enough. You've gotten rid of one of the attack boosts, but it's a boosted up Terra Ghost Furret, and I think that E-Sky Warrior has got this in the bag with another 6-0. I mean, E-Sky Warrior is one of the most dominant players in this event, making these Furreters look like children. They are looking like novices in the face of E-Sky Warrior. And Stinky reveals in the chat that they've got no more moves to hit this Furret. Nothing left. Just body slam and fighting moves. Completely checkmated. But gonna go out with honor. Gonna go out with honor. Sending the last Furret in. That last Furret wants to see the field. That last Furret wants to see the battlefield. Yes. And it's going to fall with honor. In this truly dominant performance from E-Sky Warrior, one of the greatest Furreters on the planet right now. GG's. And I'm going to take a look at this one here between Charizard and Tawny, Portobello Mushroom. They're already in the thick of it on turn 14. On turn 14. And eventually Portobello Mushroom and E-Sky Winner, the two heavy hitters, are going to face off against one another. That is, of course, if you get through Charizard Tawny, who is a player that we haven't seen yet who might actually surprise us. Portobello Mushroom has been unstoppable throughout this event. But are you really going to count out Charizard Tawny, who has made it this far? Making it this far? Playing into a tidy up setup with a switch into a frankly useless paralyzed Furret. You're going to BP out. You're going to BP out. And the new school players like Charizard Tawny are willing to make the games go longer. Portobello Mushroom is old school. Wants to, play classic Furret use like blow for blow, brick break, throat spray, stuff like that. But Charizard Tawny's going for substitutes and stuff like this and willing to slow the game down, and that might be his advantage in this 1v1 here. Goes for the Terra Ghost Coil. That is a big move. That is big, and you are impervious to Endeavor, and you are going to seriously outplay this level 1 Furret. Is not going to be able to touch you, forcing a switch out there. Good time to Terra Ghost. You are getting serious momentum, and this might actually be unstoppable now. Gonna go for the Slam 2-hit. Agility up. The only hope for Portobello Mushroom is maybe a Terra reversal. Goes for it. Knockoff. And Immune calling out the slam. Okay. Trying to make something happen. And actually, a Terra Ghost totally stonewalls this enemy Furret. You should have prepared for this. Has Slam and Hyper Voice as the only attacks. No, you're going to bat and pass out, actually. My mistake. I got hit by the Furret ID glitch. It happens to the best of us. Different Furret I was thinking of. Different Furret. There we have it. A Frisk Lychee Berry from Portobello Mushroom. I mean, that makes sense with agility. You're trying to hyper boost your speed. Endure has whiffed. Charizard Tawny with a huge tidy up on the Endure turn. Knockoff. Oh my gosh, Portobello Mushrooms actually can crack. I have not seen this guy lose yet, but geez. Mirror Herb? Okay, don't boost up or you're going to get Mirror Herbed on. Wow. Endeavor fails. Charizard Tony just completely punishes that level 1 Furret. It's not going to cut it in the modern Furret metagame. It's not going to do it anymore. It's not going to do it anymore. It's impervious to the pre-Terra Ghosted Furret, and you know that. You know that. Okay. You need to make a miracle happen, and quick. Only 1 defense boost, so Sucker Punch could get there with a Choice Band Sucker Punch. You could do it, but you have to call out the attack correctly. It's tough. Okay, Slam. Into a Tidy Up. Are you trying to boost up for enough damage to Sucker Punch? I think that could be the line for Portobello Mushroom, but... Endure. It's actually an Endure move. Okay, this one was successful. No Slam Para. Oh, no. Trying to go for the Pitaya. Ah, that actually just destroyed Portobello Mushroom. Portobello Mushroom is looking like a novice all of a sudden. This is just a wash. Charizard Tawny, the underdog here, with an unexpected performance. I mean, agility up. You're going to agility up? But for what? You're still slower. It's a forfeit. It's a forfeit from Portobello Mushroom. Okay. Going down uncharacteristically in game 1. But we know that Portobello Mushroom is the clutch god. It can make comebacks happen, so... We're going to have to see how this plays out, because this could go really anywhere from here. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen Charizard Tawny in action that much, but really impressing me with that game 1, and good luck to both of these competitors. This is just good gaming. This is just good for it. It's just good for it. This is what can be said. No matter who wins, it was a good match. And these players are putting on a show to a serious extent. We're going to tidy up. We're going to tidy up. Both great minds think alike. Both players doing it, but one has a Pitaya Berry on, one has leftovers. I imagine Mushroom's Furret wants to baton pass out here, but Super Fang is pretty huge there. Significantly bringing down the HP. Charm. Restricting the potential recipients of BP. And in the chat we're theorizing that a red card might come out. I agree, red card is a great form of counterplay against the Furret meta of just coil tidy up spam right now, but Charizard Tawny just going for a more straightforward solution of just charming repeatedly, which outpaces the damage bonus of both coil and tidy up. That restricts Portobello Mushroom's options into the special game plan, and then that can be punished by Charizard Tawny. You know, you force certain positions, and then you can punish those positions. It's very interesting, the way that this is playing out. Both players opening this one up. Very similar game plans so far, just tidying up. And, I mean, Charm is a bit of a deviation from the standard line, like the Roy Lopez transposed, but Throat Spray, I didn't expect. It was non-frisked. It was an unfrisked Throat Spray. A huge Terra Ghost sub just destroyed Portobello Mushroom going for a Focus Blast. It was telegraphed. Every Furret with Throat Spray goes for the early. Shadow Ball adaptation, folks. Oh my gosh. Shadow Ball. You're going to pivot out to another Furret. You're immune to Shadow Ball. This is unbelievable. You Focus Blast yourself. Portobello Mushroom lives. And the Throat Spray damage is enough to KO. What is going on? What is going on? I cannot believe you lived. Quick Attack! Portobello Mushroom thought he had it in the bag, but Quick Attack seals that one. Getting a bit of progress, getting a foot in the door, eliminating a Furret, but you are down in HP on this one with the early Super Fang, a straightforward and proactive play from Charizard Tawny. Getting progress, which he knew would come up later. Quick Attack now 2-hit KOs. Pitaya Berry is going to be useless in the face of a Quick Attack follow-up, which I'm sure will KO. Defense is not enough. Portobello Mushroom has been relying on this strategy all tournament, and it maybe has made him a bit predictable. Charizard Tawny has prepared well. That was a high-level Quick Attack, playing around the coil for a 2-hit. Baton Pass can't happen. It just can't happen now. It lives, you think? I don't know if this lives. But Morale is an experienced Furreter that knows those numbers. Thank you for the donation, by the way, from Pumpost. And you see Quick Attack just follows up. It just follows up, and Portobello Mushroom is feeling really called out right now, I imagine, after playing right into that double Quick Attack Super Fang line. Oh, jeez. Frisk, I mean, we knew the Choice Band is a useless Frisk. Any savvy Furreter will know that's a Choice Band Furret with that Quick Attack damage. But the question is, does Charizard Tawny have a good switch in? Because you are now sacrificing a bit of momentum Frisks the Lychee Berry, good info. Leftovers Furret. Charm. Charm is eating Portobello Mushroom alive right now. And it's brilliant because Charizard Tawny has expertly dealt with the 2 special attack sweeper Furrets. The Throat Spray Furret has been dealt with, as has the Pitaya Berry Furret. So now Charm is going to just finish off all the physical Furrets remaining. Very, very well planned from the beginning, showing serious long-term planning from Charizard Tawny that I'm seriously impressed with here. Incredible stuff. A baton passing out with minus attack. I mean, you need another special Furret. Going for the classic endeavor. The old tried and true. Will it work? Charizard Tawny has proven to be very savvy of these gimmick strategies, and I don't think he's going to play into this time. I don't think he's going to play into it this time. Yeah, just go to the Terra Ghost. Everyone knows, but it's a bait. It was a bait to bait in the Terra Ghost Furret. Portobello Mushroom exits, earning a free turn, knocking off. It didn't work, but it's 19% chip at least. It didn't knock off any item. Tidy up. Portobello Mushroom gets a better chip heal in the books, but it's just... the charm is eating you alive when you have no more special Furrets left. There's no more left. Charm again. Super Fang. Guaranteed damage, not requiring attack. Furret comes in. We're back to neutral attack on this one, but 35%. You might actually fall to a couple hits from this nerfed Furret. But Portobello Mushroom not going to even play for it. Just going to exit. Trying to invite in the Ghost Furret, but it's just not working anymore. It worked once. It's not going to work again. It's not going to work again. Charizard Tournament. Use your time. Think about it. This is you're deep in the tournament. You got to think about every move here, Charizard Tawny. Because there's so many different Furrets to choose from. Special Furret, Thunder Furret, Terra Electric Furret. Of course, you've spent your Terra Ghost. But you might have a Thunder Furret in the back anyway. Goes to Furret. And has this Furret revealed anything yet? We don't know, because these Furrets, they're sneaky and they're all named Furret, so you don't know which one's which. So you don't know that this could be special, physical, whatever Furret. It's tough. It's tough to identify, but we're going to see. It's just a simple tidy up. Sometimes simple is best. Sometimes keeping it simple is best. Knocking off a Mirror Herb, kind of huge here. A Portobello Mushroom is just not used to being in such a position. Usually gets an early advantage and just coasts with it, but now forced to make a comeback. Forced on the back foot, and wow, a knockoff into Slam has caught him off guard with damage rolls he was not expecting. Losing a crucial Furret. I think that Body Slam actually deals 41 to this. I don't know what you're thinking here, but I think that this Furret falls. I think it's the fall of Furret here. Be a Furret failure for Terra Fairy. On a knockoff is a smart... Getting a charm in the books. I mean, you're delaying the inevitable, though. That's a very defensive Furret. Agility up, but after a Slam Parry, you're not going to be faster. I think even without that Slam Parry, you were not faster than the ×3 speed boosted Furrets. Oh, +3, sorry. Knockoff, going to knock off the Life Orb. Brick Break gets a KO, but I mean, Portobello Mushroom is seriously down to the last 2 Furrets, and it's not looking good. It is not. I don't think anyone expected this. Portobello Mushroom was one of the favorites of this event. Rylan, the Shiny Furret. Shiny Furret is a literally worse thing to run because it reveals that it's a different Furret. And that just shows a level of honor among Furreters that they run Shiny Furret for the fans at home. It's for the fans to see something different on screen, to see a different color. A little bit of flair in your life is always nice, and the fact that the Shiny Furret is cleaning it up with Choice Band Brick Break is just beautiful. Charizard Tawny, a player for the people. A player who wants to make the crowd roar with applause. And we will see the 1%. Portobello Mushroom is not going to go down that easy. But of course, it's just over in a single hit. Uncharacteristic loss from Portobello Mushroom in this set. And Charizard Tawny takes it. Our new hero. This is Grand Finals. This is Grand Finals of Furret. Is between Charizard Tawny and E-Sky Warrior. And we have seen E-Sky's Warrior journey from the beginning. Perhaps the most dominant player in this event. Everybody thought that E-Sky Warrior would face off against Portobello Mushroom, but a new challenger approaches and Charizard Tawny is a wild card. Charizard Tawny is a player that shocked the world with the shiny Furret named Ryland, who just ended Portobello Mushroom's illustrious tournament career. And we don't know. E-Sky Warrior has not played against this player before. This is a first in the community, and this is going to be anyone's game. Many thought that E-Sky Warrior was the favorite, but after that dominant performance against Portobello Mushroom, it could really go either way. And these Furrets, are in the spotlight right now. Looks like a Flame Orb, Fling Furret, going for that tidy up move, predicting a knockoff, but this time it didn't happen that way and you get burned. You're going to need to, maybe you could fling the Flame Orb, you're faster here, and you can fling Flame Orb. You can fling Flame Orb against this Furret, but it could be a special Furret. It could be a different kind of Furret. It's hard to say what kind of Furret this is. Based on Charizard Tawny's previous game, I could expect a lot of tidy up. One of the more fundamentally solid players that just relies on the bread and butter of tidy up to progress the game plan forward, and a lot of charm as well. Charm is a good move, and Furret is a charming Pokemon, we all know. Using his charm as a competitive advantage is just classic of Furret. And early Terra Ghost is an insane call out. Going for Trick. Choice Specs, locking Furret. But you have tricked a Flame Orb onto yourself. That is quite a risk. But the thing is, you can trick that Flame Orb onto another Pokemon right now. This could be brilliant. You can trick that Flame... If you click Trick here, you are the GOAT. If you click Trick on the button pass out, you're the greatest Furret player I have ever seen. I don't know if you could... It's a tough play to make, but... Focus Blast was an equally good move. And it makes sense that you don't mind getting burned on a special Furret. It makes perfect sense. Unfortunate miss there. You can't complain. It's an inaccurate move. But it was a good attempt. It was a good attempt. And you could have tricked a Flame Orb onto the enemy Furret, but you actually played around Shadow Ball because you are built differently. You are prepared for these things. You know the metagame better than I do. A tidy up past Furret is disguising its special set. You think it's physical? No. Shadow Ball. But you are aware of these tricks, Charizard Tawny. You've been here before. You have done it before. Tidy up again. It's Furret's best move. And it's going to be everywhere in this set, folks. Do not get it twisted. Charm. This charming Furret is charming the world right now with its incredible performance. My gosh. Furret switches out to Furret. A reverse leftover. Super Fang is an insane call out on the Furret switch out, dealing significant chip damage. And a Double Edge could KO. Double Edge could be risky here with the recoil, but it would earn a KO. You're going to baton pass out to the Ghost Furret. Are you going to call out a Focus Blast? No, a Trick. Choice Specs, but you have Choice Specs now, and you have tricked that Flame Orb onto your own Furret because Charizard Tawny knew what was coming down and has burned you. Hyper Voice. Now you have a Choice Specs on your special Furret, and you have a Speed Boost. I cannot imagine how you engineered this position for yourself, but you have. It's just outstanding. This is just a display of Pokemon excellence I have never seen before in my life. Charizard Tawny in a commanding lead with a speed-boosted Choice Specs Furret impervious to most attacks that Furret can do. Exits. Exits. Because E-Sky Warrior commits to the Terra Ghost. Mirror Herb. That is the greatest call-out I have ever seen. Tidy up. Playing around the Terra Ghost, not playing into it. Terra Ghost would have reversed that Hyper Voice. Switching out, calling out the coil, taking Mirror Herb, and tidying up, and you are body slamming. You are two-hitting this Furret. Red card. Okay, E-Sky Warrior has some counterplay. We have some counterplay. Red card comes out. Okay, it's not going to be a wash. We have a game on our hands. We have a game on our hands. It's not going to be that easy. It is not going to be that simple. Endeavor. Okay, bringing you down to 45. It's not that much damage, though. It's not that much damage. You got the speed advantage, but Charizard Tawny can go back to that Terra Ghost Furret with a Choice Specs equipped and just go for Hyper Voices, and it's just a commanding lead, in my opinion. We're going to see how this plays out. E-Sky Warrior could make serious comebacks happen. We've seen it before, but Charizard Tawny in a seriously dominant position right now. The plays so far have been the best Furret plays I have ever seen in my life. I can scarcely believe some of the gaming occurring here. Can E-Sky Warrior top it? I mean, E-Sky Warrior is capable of just as excellent plays, so we're going to see. We are going to see if it's possible. Anything is possible in this format. And my disrespect to the Kirby's Epic Yarn soundtrack, but we're going to put on some more epic music for Furret Finals here. We need something that matches the energy and... Grand Finals, take your time, Charizard Tawny. You are thinking deeply about this switch in. Because every move counts. And whatever Furret you choose, They may all be Furrets, but they're different beings. They all have different tools, and they are equipped for different situations. It's Rylan, the choice specs. It's not choice specs, maybe. I don't know. It's shiny, we know. It's shiny Furret. Gonna BP out? Many would go to regular Furret here. Charizard Tony goes to shiny Furret with a play rough. That looks like band damage, and the attack debuff is a lesser talked about element of play rough on Furret, but it is coming into play right here, perhaps denying a damage roll, crucially from Sky Warrior, and kind of thwarting his baton pass chain because he can't pass out to a physical sweeper anymore. Knockoff, we know it's choice band based on that damage, and had to lock into it again, but now you could actually hit Sucker Punch or Quick Attack now that you're no longer locked in. So Sky Warrior denying a bit of damage output, but okay, played around Sucker Punch maybe with a switch out to Furret, but the U-turn is really interesting. I mean, that could be a pivot into the perfect Furret. And Charizard Tony is going to calculate here. We're going to do some calculations. Okay. You don't want to think about it, but you don't want to think that long, because time is a resource. Knockoff. Knockoff is a standard option. Probably the optimal click there, actually, to not reveal too much information. You could have different normal type moves, different other coverage, so Knockoff is a more standard option to not reveal much of the set. This burned Furret is in a regrettable position here. And this burned Furret is... I can't keep track of the Furrets, I'm going to be honest. This Furret could have Fling Flame Orb still intact as an option, and that could be a way to get back into the conversation. They're both looking at each other in the soul, these Furrets, looking at each other deep in the eyes and saying, I know you. I know what you want. I know your deepest and darkest, the outer trenches of your mind to such an extent that you have never seen. I will outplay you. These Furrets are plagued for their lives. It is the event of the century. I told you it would be. You guys didn't believe me. You didn't think this was a real format. This is better than any Pokemon format of all time. The Fling Flame Orb. It didn't work. You're fling choice specs. I think you got confused there. You thought you still had Flame Orb equipped because you're burned, but no, earlier you got tricked. And in more ways than one you got tricked. You forgot your own item. Fling choice specs has no effect. Maybe it removes the choice specs from you, actually. That could be what you're going for. Remove the choice specs. Tidy up. But after the burn, you're gone. And Charizard Tawny knew it. That's the worst part. A 6-0 against Sky Warrior? It can't be possible. Sky Warrior cannot go down like this. This is unbelievable. This is so commanding. Goes for the knockoff. Just get rid of whatever item is there. Red card. It was just the leftovers, but it could have been a red card to stop the tidy up. This is game 1 of the set. And Body Slam, it gets there. It could have been a speed tie there, but Furret was healthier than enemy Furret. Ghost Furret can perhaps thwart this. It's possible. Knockoff. No, that is such damage. You have coverage for Ghost Furret. As long as you dodge this para, and you did, you have the follow-up KO, and there's only one Furret. Let's be honest, Charizard Tawny has just dominated in game 1 here with perhaps the most well-played game of Furret used of all time. The Mirror Herb, the play around the Terra, it was all perfect. It was perfect. And we're going to have to see Sky Warrior maintain a competitive spirit. And we are back into the set. Charizard Tawny up 1 game. If Charizard Tawny wins this game, it is over. Charizard Tawny takes the crown, the Furret crown. Sky Warrior should not be counted out. We have seen in this tournament, Sky Warrior dominate everyone else. Adaptation is the key. And you are going to adapt to enemies' Furrets with... And it's all about the early line with the Flame Orbs. It's very significant. It's very significant. Tidy up. It goes for this line now. I mean, maybe it's more optimal. It plays around knockoff and allows a follow-up fling. So I think I like it. Sky Warrior probably going to go for the fling here, I would imagine. But it could be a BP out as well. Goes for the fling indeed. Going to burn the Furret. But is this the same line as last time with the Focus Blast? This is feeling like deja vu, folks. The Focus Blast was a great click again, because it could just eliminate the enemy Furret if it lands, but unfortunately, that's Focus Blast for you. Goes to the left. Yeah, I believe it is Choice Specs Furret Terra Ghost right here, but actually before it was something else I can't recall. Yeah, it is Choice Specs. It's Choice Specs. Well, that is going... Wow, that Furret lived. The Furret lived Focus Blast. Sky Warrior probably knows that that particular Furret can live. Okay, so Charizard Tawny might be getting caught with his tail between his legs, as they say in Furret communities, because like you committed to Terra Ghost and you are now sort of, you're burned on the Furret, your choice specs, and now there's a Terra Ghost Furret and then Inspired that can play around Focus Blast and Hyper Voice. So E-Sky Warrior showing that after that game 1, it's not a wash. It's not going to be a wash. We came to play. This is a tournament of the highest caliber, and I came to play, says E-Sky Warrior, with the Terra Ghost Furret looking very threatening, right? It's low on health, though. Sucker Punch would end this. 20% remaining on the enemy Furret. Charm comes down. No knockoff. No knockoff. No attack. A Charm comes down to try and thwart the sweeper. Maybe that is smarter. Maybe that is better, because knockoff might not get there against the defense-boosted Furret, which was evidently quite bulky in the face of that Focus Blast earlier. So Charizard Tawny going for a more safe way to just pacify this sweeper right now, and will it work is the question. Now Furret has ×2 defense and leftovers. Knockoff going to come down. E-Sky Warrior was wary of a red card right there, and knockoff from the opposing Furret, attack invested evidently, is going to bypass the 2 defense boost. E-Sky Warrior now the one with the Terra Furret that got eliminated. No Terra to speak of. I mean, those Focus Blasts, if they land, they're going to get KOs, and then out, the House of Cards comes crumbling down. E-Sky Warrior, you are going to have to play out of your mind right now. I will say though, Charizard Tawny's Terra Ghost Furret is right now burned. It is limited and it has inaccuracy to contend with. It has inaccuracy to contend with the Focus Blasts it has to rely on, so you can use that to your advantage, and you might have Furrets that are bulky enough to withstand 1 for that KO, and if you can get rid of that Furret, I think that you might even things out and bring things back to center. Okay, our leftovers is gone. You notice these high-level Furret players go for the early knockoff to play around red cards and other such, like a Rocky Helmet and other such items. It's good play to just knock off the item quickly. And we are in a tight position here. E-Sky Warrior with a tiny up, and it could be anyone's game. I'm not sure, because, like I said, Charizard Tawny's prime Furret, the Terra Ghost Choice Specs Furret, is very, very pacified right now in its burned state. We're going to have to see how Charizard Tawny pushes the advantage. Charizard Tawny does have the advantage, but can all slip away very quickly. And against a high caliber player like E-Sky Warrior, you don't want to feel too comfortable. You never want to feel like, oh, I've got this, it's over. No, E-Sky Warrior can really sneak up under you and take your, what you thought was an advantage, and flip it back onto your face. So you've got to be very careful here. You have to be very careful. Shiny Furret Rylan comes in, the most famous Furret of this event, Rylan. The shiny. And goes for Play Rough. It's the signature move of Rylan. It looks like a fairy type, but is actually just a Furret. Normal type, but Last Resort comes down. An unexpected one-hit KO. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of reversal E-Sky Warrior needed. Last Resort has been a great option on savvy Furret play. It's hard to pilot, because you need to engineer a Last Resort situation, but it catches off players like Charizard Tawny, who are all about the calcs, the damage ranges. I'm safe here. No, you're not. You are not safe here. You're gone. Okay, Charizard Tawny. I don't know if that Terra Ghost Furret can come in here and withstand a potential knockoff or Shadow Claw, because it is chipped. It's going to come in and take burn and be on about 64%. A follow-up KO is very possible. Just goes to a regular old Furret, knows that that's not going to be a winning play to go to the other Furret, the Terra Ghosted one, so just goes to a fresh Furret, and I mean, because Last Resort is a lot of damage threatened right now, and if you go to Terra Ghost Furret, does E-Sky Warrior care? There's a subsequent knockoff to be clicked, a subsequent Shadow Claw. Charizard Tawny up a game here, but wow, lives Last Resort. Body Slam. Doesn't KO, going for the para. Furret has their easy follow-up KO here. Goes for knockoff. Okay, Charizard Tawny is intelligently sacking the less useful Furret. I think Charizard Tawny seems to be playing for a priority elimination, but if this enemy Furret has a priority move of his own, it's not going to work. A quick attack here from E-Sky Warrior will going to protect. Okay, scouts out the enemy Furret, and I mean, I can't process what set this has, because it combines all the Furrets into one. It glitches out the system. It glitches out the system. It's part of the game, of course. It's part of the game in the Furret used community, but just knows to exit there. Goes to burned Furret, saving Last Resort Furret for, well, a Last Resort, I suppose. Alright, no priority move to thwart the enemy's Furret, regrettably. Going to the Terra Ghost Furret, this is a big move. A Focus Blast is hard to stop here. Hoping for a miss, mate. Goes for the trick. That's very aggressive. Wow. Trick to choice specs onto the enemy. I mean, interesting that you don't want to keep your choice specs for the damage. Maybe you don't think you need it at this point. All the other Furrets are chipped. It's such an interesting turn, wasn't it? Now you're locked into knock off, and Charizard Tawny knows it. And we know that he has the quick attacker. And Morale, the Furret professional in the chat, says that just neutralized it. Neutralized it from using Last Resort ever again, because Last Resort requires you to click all the other moves. So that's a good point there. Okay, Charizard Tawny gonna... This is actually brilliant, because after the knockoff loses the item, it's not going to KO in the second one, and you can boost up twice. It's a really good position. You get the double boost, and now you might just reverse sweep here. It's possible. I mean, I don't know, because Ace Sky Warrior could easily just have a priority to stop this. He's ahead on Furrets. He's got the Furret count advantage. And Furret count advantage is a fundamental part. You see? Quick attack. Okay, good plan to go for Charizard Tawny, but it's rough. And Ace Sky Warrior, like I said, is bringing this back really well. It looked dire earlier on, but... And a Focus Blast, what did I say? Focus Blast can just miss. And it's an unreliable strategy. To rely on this in Grand Finals is interesting. Tricking red card onto yourself is actually a high-level move. Now Furret can't hit you without losing all its boosts. But it's a cute move, it's an advanced move, but I don't think you have enough steam to carry that to a victory, Charizard Tawny. I think we might be going to a Game 5. That's my prediction. I mean, I never count out a player like Charizard Tawny, who is just on top of it much of the time. Ace Sky Warrior with the Furret count advantage. Missing another Focus Blast. And I don't think Ace Sky Warrior even cares about getting red carded. Just KO this Furret, and knockoff doesn't even work against red card, won't even work there. And Charizard Tawny in the chat says GG, well played. As it is, in fact, going to be over here as a knockoff comes down to secure the last Furret. And I told you Ace Sky Warrior can't be counted out even after that dominant performance in Game 1, which was seriously just incredible from Charizard Tawny. I mean, Ace Sky Warrior equalizes, and now tournament life on the line for both of these players. I mean, the winner of this is the winner of everything. The winner of this particular game. This is the last game of the whole tournament. 1-1, evenly matched Furreters. They are the top of the top tier Furreters. Who is the smarter individual? If that's the question. That's all that matters now. Coil. Okay, an aggressive opener from Charizard Tawny. Tidy up on the Ace Sky Warrior. They're just going for it. Gonna have the speed advantage early on Ace Sky Warrior's side. Will that be good enough? Gonna knock off a leftovers. That's reducing chip heal. This particular Furret is going to be less effective as a sweeper, but I'm sure you're going to bat and pass out to a different Furret. Goes for the slam. No power there. Red card. Brilliant from Ace Sky Warrior. Getting rid of that Charizard Tawny early momentum. A lot of turns invested into boosting up there, and they're all gone off a red card. It's gone. It's done. Ace Sky Nation versus Charizard Gang are at odds here. Both of these players have screaming fans in the audience that are... Well, they're just going ham for their players, and it's the event of the century. There are more viewers here than there are for the FIFA International Championships, I've heard. Focus Blast lands there when you need it most, Charizard Tawny. And it was a good position to go for it because that's a chipped Furret on the enemy side, and if you miss, it's not lethal. It's indeed a choice specs Furret confirmed by Frisk. Could one-hit this Furret if you commit to Terra, but you don't want to commit. You don't even want to click Focus Blast there. It's a risk. And Ace Sky Warrior gets baited to Terra. This is what Charizard Tawny is an expert at. Baiting out these Terras. Goes for the charm to punish the coil spam. Gets knocked off, but that's a small price to pay. I think that Ace Sky Warrior has wasted Terra a little bit. Pulling the trigger too early. Charizard Tawny with the Terra advantage now. Can Terra whenever he wants. Ace Sky Warrior has wasted that resource. And it is indeed 1-1, folks. This is the last match of the entire event, and a Fling Flame Orb, Ace Sky Warrior. That might bring things back a little bit, because that has seriously crippled this tidied up Furret. The other Furret is, of course, getting charmed down to nothing. I mean, geez, Baton Pass out to where? Ace Sky Warrior. Baton Pass out to where? Well, Furret, of course, but which Furret is the... Which Furret? Hyper Voice brings him to 1. He bets Baton Pass out there on the last sliver of HP. I can't believe it. I can't believe that just lived. Button passing to a special Furret there was smart, by the way, by Ace Sky Warrior, but he is so on top of these damage numbers. He just lives that, and he button passes out, and he's going to have a tidy up boost. But it could be a speed tie between the Furrets, folks. It could be a speed tie. That's choice locked Hyper Voice Furret. Remember, Charizard has a Terra. He's going to Interra. He knows that you're locked into... That's the perfect way to push the advantage. I would have done the same. You know it's Choice locked into Hyper Voice, and you know he's spent the Terra. You have such an advantage there, and you are going to coil to push your advantage further. Can E-Sky Warrior stop this? Is there another red card forward in the back? You're going to need one to get rid of these boosts. You're going to need one. Is this it? Well, Charizard Tawny may have played around it right there by coiling again. Gonna slam. Gonna knock off. Slam just shy of KOing, but no red card. Knock off, knocking off nothing. No item to knock off. Nothing to knock off. Very tough for E-Sky Warrior. Is he have enough steam to thwart this Furret? And even if you do you have enough for the remaining 5 Furrets? You got 4 Furrets against 6 right here. I think that's a Furret disparity. That is a disparity in the Furret count on your end, E-Sky Warrior. I don't know if you've got this one. I think that visually there's a clear disadvantage on your end with a lack of Furrets to thwart the enemies. Furrets. Terra Ghost. It's an interesting maneuver. You've committed to Terra, you might as well use it. Ghost type Furret is a formidable opponent, but is Charizard Tawny really going to baton pass out to a normal type Furret and play around Shadow Ball here? Or another Ghost type attack? Is that what we're seeing? Yes, because he's the GOAT of Furret used. Because he sees these plays in his dreams like Paul Atreides. It's the greatest to ever do it. Knock off, 1-hit KO. That Shadow Claw was more obvious than ever. And folks, this is looking like a wash. I gotta be honest, Charizard Tawny is looking fantastic right here. Mirror Herb in the back, but just in case E-Sky Warrior boosts up, give me those boosts. Body Slam is a 1-hit. No more Terra, I think it's a wash. Maybe a Focus Sash, but there's too many Furrets. There are too many Furrets. There are far too many. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to be... It's not going to be the one. One more Furret remaining. Is this going to be it? I can't imagine that E-Sky Warrior has any possible recourse in this position. And of course, to finish things off, he goes to the signature Rylan, the shiny Furret. And the crowd goes insane as double-edged KOs with the shiny Furret, ending everything. And we have our champion, folks. Charizard Tawny has triumphed in a close set, but in this game it didn't look so close, did it? That was a dominant performance against E-Sky Warrior to close things out, and in style too, with the shiny Furret to finish. Unbelievable. Incredible stuff. Congratulations to the winner. One of the greatest tournaments I have ever witnessed. Congratulations to some of the MVPs. Portobello Mushroom putting on a show. Morale, one of the better Furreters. Ozma with some interesting tech. One of the pioneers of Terra Electric Furret. And Charizard Tawny has done it. Incredible stuff. I'm gonna shoot you a message after this, and it was a funny idea I came up with on a whim, and it turned out to be very entertaining. And I'm glad you all enjoyed it. I'm glad you all liked it. It was a bit silly, but surprisingly pretty fun to watch, right? Pretty cool. We figured out Coil is the meta. But it was pretty interesting the amount of variation people came up with. Creative stuff, I must say. After getting in touch with the winner of the tournament, Charizard Tawny, also known as Louis CL, the video he has forced me to make as the champion of this tournament is quite an interesting one. An in-depth ranking of every single unknown form. This is a ridiculous concept, but I am beholden to my word, and I will be making this video shortly. Congratulations once again to Louis CL, the Furret champion. Thank you for watching.